Hello. Hello, hello. I just made it in time. Welcome to the stream. We're here. It's time for more Pikachu. Hello, Theo. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm tired. When will I ever sleep well? The answer is never. Well, not never, just rarely. Anyway, I managed to get up in time just enough to be able to start the stream on time. I was still writing out the tweet, my going live tweet, by the time I hit like start streaming. Anyway, there is still no Detective Pikachu Returns category on Twitch, so we're still in the regular Detective Pikachu category. Yeah, thanks Twitch. See, YouTube knows what's up. YouTube has a separate category for Detective Pikachu Returns. I'm gonna take my jumper off. I think it's in a weird sort of in-between temperature where I don't know whether it's too hot or too cold. But we'll see. I may have to put it back on later. Anyway, last time we left off, Pikachu was in jail, and we were trying to figure things out in order to get him out of there. And the police were corrupt. Well, not really the police, but the people, the Pokemon police, essentially. The PPB. PP. Where's the game scene? There it is. Let me just set everything up properly. Full screen that. Get this up so that I can mark any clips I want to make for shorts later. And then, let's jump back into it. I made my tea like a minute before stream, so it's definitely not cool enough to drink yet. We have not yet spoken. There's a lot of people we haven't spoken to, I guess. Right, because we investigated all the stuff in front of here, and then we ended. So I guess let's see what's going on here. I hope you'll come see us sing the next time we're in the city. That's right, cool. Do they just... Yeah, I don't know why they marked that with an exclamation mark. I'm pretty sure we already read those when we did the mission the first time. But anyway. I can't believe this is happening.
Excuse me?
Is something wrong? Have you ever had your dearest friend taken away from you? That sounds heartbreaking. I know, right? And that's exactly what happened to me today. That's terrible. Do you want to talk about it? Yeah, thanks. I think talking through it might help me feel a little better. So tell me, what happened? Some people from the PPB just suddenly showed up today. They rattled off a whole lot of accusations, and then they told me they were taking away my Morpeko. I tried to stop them, but they said they had proof, and the law is the law. Morpeko looked so sad and defeated as the police took him away. How awful. Yeah, it really was.
Excuse me?
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago? The evening the Slowpoke statue in the Fountain Plaza was damaged? No, I didn't. I was at home that night. I see. Could you tell us a bit more about your Could you tell us a bit about... Could you tell us a bit more about your Morpeko? Morpeko's my partner. He's just a cheerful little guy with a big appetite. I assume that's why the PPB suspected him. What do you mean? Apparently a Pokemon was causing trouble last night. They said a Pokemon stole someone's food right in front of this very cafe. Oh ho? Morpeko had nothing to do with it, but the PPB wouldn't listen. So that's what happened. When Morpeko's hungry, he does get cranky and his fur even changes color. But he's never stolen food before, not even once. I can't imagine that little guy causing trouble for anyone. You don't say. I'll try looking around the scene here.
Hey!
So Morpeko supposedly caused some trouble right in front of the Hi-Hat Cafe, right? Yeah, let's see if there's any evidence. Morpeko's been accused of stealing some food. We'd better investigate carefully.
Alright.
Okay, let's see what we can see.
Oh!
It's the Hi-Hat Cafe's menu. The sandwiches in here look delicious. Thanks for that, Tim.
Oh!
Just a cup of coffee. Nothing strange about that. Then I assume this is what they want us to look at. The ground and wall looks scorched. According to the PPB, Morpeko went berserk and used his aura wheel. Aura wheel changes type based on how Morpeko is feeling, right? Yep. When Morpeko's in hangry mode, it's a dark type move, and when Morpeko's in full belly mode, it's an electric type move. If Morpeko's aura wheel were electric type, that could have caused these scorch marks. That would mean he and Morpeko stole someone's food even though it had a full belly. Yeah, you're right. What's going on here?
Alright.
Looks like we've checked everything of note here. Well, that was quick.
Oh!
The cafe windows are polished to a shine.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure we've checked out everything here. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh, it's that guy. Wait, isn't that the guy who...
Tim? Why imagine us running into each other again? Here of all places.
You're that guy who suddenly plucked some of Pikachu's fur.
Yes, I'm Charles Murlock, scientist and policy mastermind of Rhyme City. Where's your partner Pikachu? Don't tell me you two had a falling out.
No, nothing like that.
I know you! You're the one who keeps meeting with my dad!
Well, well, the mayor's daughter. You know, Rhyme City has become rather dangerous lately. I know how much Howard worries about you. I suggest you head home soon.
And I suggest you mind your business.
What they did not even try with the lip syncing there. Like, she opened her mouth twice, and that was enough for, I suggest you mind your own business. Okay. You've got a lot of explaining to do. What sort of ideas are you putting into Papa's head? And all these Pokemon management measures, are they your doing as well? Oh, my dear, it seems I have caught you in a bad mood. Perhaps we should speak some other time. If you'll excuse me, until next time. He left without answering a single question. You may have started off a bit too strong. Oh, so we can go into the cafe if we want. Hmm?
Huh? There's Brad again.
Is he a detective? He's checking out the cart.
I wonder if he found something.
Brad was looking around in Fountain Plaza yesterday, too. What in the world is he up to? He might be looking for more evidence of that case Pikachu's mixed up in. Yeah, maybe there's still something here. Let's go see for ourselves. I get the feeling what it's kind of implying is that Brad has maybe figured out that there's something sus going on here, and he's like, after the police finishes their investigation, he's coming back in and being like, something doesn't add up, etc, etc. Oh ho?
Okay, Maractus, just do what you always do. And Snubble, you watch Maractus's moves and see if you can copy them.
Actus. Snub. I get the feeling that the reason this girl is here is so that these can be the next Pokemon that end up in jail. Oh, so I have to approach it from that side if I want to investigate. Then there's Apom. Is he going to end up in jail too? Apom was prominent in like the first chapter of the first game. Need to see it back, I guess. Hey there, Apom. You better not be planning any pranks to play in the city, okay? Okay, so it's also going to end up in jail then. Probably. The statue's still broken. But there's no way Pikachu did this. I've got to search harder. Okay. Alright, time to examine this area. We're looking for evidence left by the culprit, which is another Pikachu, right? But would it be any different from evidence that your Pikachu could have left? I'm not sure, but we won't figure out anything if we don't look. Good point. We can't afford to overlook anything.
All right.
Let's check for any clues that could lead us to the Pikachu that caused this mess. What do we got here?
Oh, it's a bus ticket.
I highly doubt that a Pokemon rode the bus by itself. It would be fun if one did, though. I bet that'd be a wild ride. Yeah, then you'd get someone taking a photo of it and putting it on Twitter going, why is this Pokemon on the bus by itself? And then some gimmick account called Pokemon on the Bus would say, mind your own business.
Oh!
Look at these Pokemon tracks. They're pretty big.
These definitely weren't made by Pikachu's paws. Anything else you can tell from them, Tim?
It looks like this Pokemon was headed towards the main street. Interesting.
There's some paper on the ground.
It's just a crumpled up piece of paper. I doubt it's got anything to do with the case. I mean, you could uncrumple it in order to find out. Eh? There's another set of footprints.
Oh!
Here are some Pokemon tracks.
I can't say for I can't say for
I keep wanting to say for certain.
I can't say for sure if these were made by a Pikachu, but the size looks about right.
The trail heads towards the back of the plaza, but ends abruptly before it gets to 2nd Avenue. I wonder why. I don't like the way the leaves are moving. They're just sort of wiggling. Okay, that's all in this small area, I think, yeah.
Oh!
There's some food on the ground.
Maybe it's some of the food sold at this stall?
All right.
Nothing more to see here.
Let's think.
Okay. It's possible there could be another Pikachu to investigate the Fountain Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out where the other Pikachu went. The food on the ground near the stall suggests the other Pikachu is probably walking around in search of a snack. The large footprints led to the main street, which means the owner of those footprints went there. Based on the footprints left behind, it seems the other Pikachu headed towards 2nd Avenue.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Rachel's here now. These little footprints are about the right size. They could belong to another Pikachu.
Yes, they must. And if you follow the direction they're facing, it looks like they lead into that alley that goes to 2nd Avenue.
Maybe someone on 2nd Avenue saw the other Pikachu. Let's go check it out. Ba-ba-dum. There might be someone on 2nd Avenue who saw the other Pikachu. Let's go there then. Oh hey, the other Pokemon that were fighting here are gone now. This is the way to 2nd Avenue. Yeah, I hope we find someone who saw the Pikachu. To 2nd Avenue. Which is like the most generic... most generic name for a street ever. Although... Is that how streets are named? I feel like I've heard streets just named after numbers in America. Or something like that. Here in Australia, the streets all have actual names. Well, here we are, 2nd Avenue. The police station is just to the left of the parking lot, full of police cars. And if we head towards the police station from here, that takes us back to the street the Hi Hat Cafe is on. I don't see any more footprints from that Pokemon. It's like it just disappeared. We'll need to question people for more information from here on out. Let's try to find someone who's seen the Pikachu.
Hey!
Let's ask that person if she's seen a Pikachu. What do you think I was doing? Bruh? Excuse me, do you have a moment to talk? What about?
Excuse me?
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago? The evening the Slowpoke statue in the Fountain Plaza was damaged? No, I didn't. I assume it was detained by the PPB? The police detained a Pikachu, yes, but we're looking for a different one. Oh, really? Sorry, I didn't see any Pikachu. Thanks, that's important information. Have you witnessed any of the recent Pokemon detainments? No, I haven't seen them myself, but it does seem as if more and more Pokemon are being detained lately. Yeah, it feels like there aren't nearly as many Pokemon out and about the city. That may be related to this incident with Pikachu. Oh? What's behind the sudden increase in Pokemon detainments? More and more Pokemon in Rhyme City are being detained by the Pokemon Protection Bureau. These Pokemon have supposedly done bad things. It sounds like an awful lot of Pokemon here in Rhyme City are being detained, doesn't it? Yeah. Even if something's going on with the detained Pokemon, this all seems way too sudden. This may have something to do with the other Pikachu. We ought to look into it. Sure, but how do we do that? The partners of the detained Pokemon might know something. Good point. Alright, let's look for their partners. Well, I've already done 2 out of the 3 question mark, potentially? Oh, hey, Spearow. Spee! This place has the best burgers. I could eat here 5 times a day and never get sick of them. 5 times a day? That might be going a bit overboard.
Excuse me?
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago? The evening the Slowpoke statue in Fountain Plaza was damaged? Nope, sure didn't. I was here that night, though. But judging by the tracks, the Pikachu we're looking for must have walked down this road. So where could it have gone? Have you witnessed any of the recent Pokemon detainments? I haven't actually seen any, but I have heard rumors. People saying the police were by and stuff. I sure don't like all this trouble in the city. Makes it hard to just relax and eat. Oh, look. It's a Licky Licky statue. I just can't believe it, Impidimp.
Excuse me?
What's wrong? Apparently my partner Impidimp got himself into a whole heap of trouble. Impidimp are known for pulling pranks, aren't they? Can't argue with that. Maybe this was a prank gone too far? Do you mind sharing some details with us? So what happened exactly? The Pokemon Protection Bureau took my partner Impidimp away. It happened so suddenly I was completely blindsided. I'm practically still in shock. Did one of Impidimp's pranks cause too much trouble for someone? Good guess. That's just what the PPP said. But somehow I can't believe it. My tea is now cool enough to drink.
Excuse me?
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago? The evening the Slowpoke statue in the Fountain Plaza was damaged? No, I'm afraid not. We're trying to track down whoever broke the Slowpoke statue. Oh, you're a detective? I hope you find the culprit. I guess this is one of the people who don't recognize the famous great detective Tim. What kind of trouble did Impidimp supposedly cause? They say my silly little Impidimp stole someone's valuables. And that happened right here in front of this burger joint. Supposedly a security camera recorded the whole thing, and they got a clear image of Impidimp. But I just can't believe it. Despite all appearances, Impidimp's really a good little fella. He likes shiny things, so yeah, sometimes he'll bring me stuff he finds on the ground. But only things that are just lying there. He doesn't steal from people. I'd really like to believe you. I guess I can see why you doubt me. Poor Impidimp. I wonder if Impidimp really is guilty, though. I'd like to examine the scene for a moment. The incident that Impidimp is accused of happened right in front of the burger shop. Let's look for some evidence. This is where Impidimp reportedly stole someone's valuables. There might still be some clues around.
All right.
Okay, let's see what we can see. Oh, I see a something. It's a coin. There's a really shiny coin on the ground. Did this get dropped here during the incident with Impidimp? If so, that'd be a little strange. Yeah, we did hear that Impidimp loves shiny things. Exactly, Impidimp would have picked this coin up. So then why is the coin here?
All right.
Looks like we've checked everything of note here.
Oh,
A poster for the burger joint. Looks like they're running a special deal right now. You know, it's kind of interesting to me that, like, Pokemon has its own, like, written language, like this, with these, like, unique symbols. But then it also has an own, which are clearly based on the English alphabet.
oh,
Licky is the burger joint's mascot. Whoever they got to make the statue did a good job. Is that the size? I feel like Licky should be taller than that. So maybe it's just a smaller model. An illuminated sign displaying the name of the burger joint. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I'm guessing that's everything. I don't see anything else lighting up the cursor.
let's think.
Ba-bum. Let's use the information we've gathered to figure out what's going on with these Pokemon. Were these Pokemon upset about something? Her testimony that a Pokemon messed up some flowers, perhaps they were really upset for some reason. Are they hungry? Stole someone's food, so maybe the Pokemon were really hungry. Innocent Pokemon being detained according to their partners. The Pokemon were all detained for things they normally wouldn't do. This is the obvious answer. They may have been framed for crimes another Pokemon committed. Do they want people's belongings? So, obvious answer.
Okay.
None of the evidence left at the crime scene seem like things those Pokemon would likely leave behind. That's true. And their partners were in shock because the Pokemon were accused of doing something completely out of character. Just like when Pikachu was arrested. The same thing keeps happening. There's photographic evidence for every crime, though. As strange as it all seems, it's difficult to convince the PPB that something's off. Every crime has photo evidence, and the Pokemon are behaving out of character. What if those Pokemon are being framed? What makes you say that? Oh, sorry, I guess that's a pretty big claim. I can't say for sure. Still, a lot of things at the crime scenes just don't add up. I don't think we can rule it out just yet. If that is what's happening, I sure hope we can do something to help those Pokemon. What is the Pokemon Protection Bureau doing? It's strange that the PPB detains Pokemon based on little evidence without even investigating the crime scenes. Talk to the police for more information. Oh boy, the police. My favorite. Let's say for a moment that the PPB and the police are framing innocent Pokemon. If that's the case, what are they trying to accomplish? Are they just detaining Pokemon without doing thorough investigations? Or is there more to it than that? I couldn't say why, but maybe detaining Pokemon isn't a means to an end. Maybe it's their actual goal. You mean the PPB and the police are just out there trying to pump up their numbers? Wouldn't surprise me. Do they really have that little respect for Pokemon? Whoa, Rachel, wait a sec. We need to investigate a bit more before we draw any conclusions. Things aren't quite adding up just yet. You're right, sorry. I got a little heated just now. It's okay. Let's start asking people in the city about the recent detainments. Sounds good. Well, he says people in the city, but the thing says police, so... The people who should know the most about the Pokemon detainments are the Pokemon Protection Bureau and the police. But Inspector Holiday didn't know much of anything. Maybe we should ask some other police officers. Good idea, let's do that. Interview the police. Is there anything else further this way? It's the quiz lady! Okay, maybe Apom isn't getting detained then. Maybe Apom is here for the quiz. Fern, yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Looks like a pretty nimble Pokemon. So maybe Apom's really just here for the quiz and not getting detained. Because Furred's probably also here for the quiz. Hello, Detective. Kano. I think I've met you before somewhere, right? Come on, of course you have. It's me, the quiz professor, remember? Oh, but where's your Pikachu? Isn't he usually with you? Kano? Pikachu's got something else going on today, so... Am I getting quizzed again? Why not? It'll be a good change of pace, and I'll help too. Oh my, is this your girlfriend? Then please, by all means, you two can work on this quiz together. You know, I'm not exactly fond. Imagine telling someone your Pokemon is currently locked up in jail. I'm not exactly fond of, like, the fact that it's like, ah yes, girl and boy together, they must be dating. Bruh. Watch, the game's gonna end and they're gonna end up dating at some point. I can see it coming a mile away. And now for Pokemon quiz question number 1. Auto assumption stuff is so outdated, yeah. What aromatic Pokemon has a beautiful flower blooming on its head? A flower on its head? I feel like I've seen that before. Yeah, do you think it'd be somewhere with lots of flowers? Let me know when you've found it. Alright, we also need to find berries. I don't think there's any point going this way. Okay. So is this gonna be Maractus? Also, I need to keep an eye out on the trees. So then this is the way the police are. Hello, Phalanx. Thanks. Ah, Lilligant. Lily? Oh, it's Lilligant. It's got a beautiful flower and a really nice aroma. I've actually got a shiny Lilligant. Oh, in Pokemon Home. I hunted for it in Pokemon Moon. Tim, let's report to the quiz professor. The answer's gotta be Lilligant. Oh, right, sure, let's go. You know what, chill, we'll go right away. We'll probably head back to look at berries later. She's probably gonna ask about Apom at some point. Are we allowed to go down here? Probably not. Oh no, we are. Okay, we'll deal with the quiz professor first before we get too sidetracked. Even though the quiz professor is in herself a sidetrack. Think you've got the answer, detective?
All right.
Yeah, this was an easy one. The answer is Lilligant. Bingo! That didn't seem like a challenge for you at all. Cano! As you can see, Lilligant can make a beautiful flower bloom on its head. But it requires constant attention. If you don't take proper care of the garland, it'll wither away. And also essential oils made from Lilligant's flowers sell for unbelievable prices through Karens on Facebook Marketplace shilling their MLMs. I'm sorry, I can't see the word essential oils without thinking of fucking MLM Huns. Well, I'd already seen a Lilligant before, so the answer just kind of sprung to mind. Well, sounds like this was smooth sailing for you then. Now on to question number 2. Cano. What Pokemon has fluffy fur around its neck and loves to stay clean and live as it pleases? Huh, I'm imagining a luxurious, pampered Pokemon, but what kind? We got a hint about fluff on its neck, but nothing on where to find it. Go on then, get searching and let me know when you figure it out. So I know the answer. The answer is either Minchino or Chinchino, but I don't know where they are. So I guess we'll just keep having a look around. Yowlet. We can go behind here for absolutely no reason.
Excuse me.
Hi there. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? What do you need?
Excuse me.
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago? The evening the Slowpoke statue in the Fountain Plaza was damaged? Oh, right. There was some commotion at Fountain Plaza, wasn't there? I was here the whole evening and I didn't see any Pikachu. So the culprit didn't come through this square either. Have you witnessed any of the recent Pokemon detainments? Well, I heard a Pokemon caused trouble in front of the Hi Hat Cafe, but I didn't see it for myself, so I don't know anything else about it. So these ladies are probably just red herrings for the previous, the previous logic point. I love slow, lazy days when the weather's nice like this. Me too, but we haven't been able to take things very slowly lately. Oh, what's the rush? Is something wrong?
Excuse me.
Did you happen to see a Pikachu 2 nights ago, the evening the Slowpoke statue in the Fountain Plaza was damaged? I saw a Morpeko and Dedenne, but no Pikachu. Hey Tim, do you think it's possible the culprit was actually Morpeko or Dedenne? No, unfortunately, I don't think so. Chief Butler said he had proof that a Pikachu did it, but I believe it must have been a different Pikachu. Have you witnessed any of the recent Pokemon detainments? No, I've only heard rumors. A Pokemon apparently stole someone's valuables, for example. Sounds like we all need to be careful. I'd better keep a firm grip on my belongings. None of the trees seem to have any berries on them. Okay, well let's head back over this way. See if we can find... Can we go this way? Alright, this just leads back to Hi Hat Cafe. Check any of the trees for some berries. Oh. Is something here? Is something there? Oh, there was a Burmy! Burmy was another Pokemon that was important in the first chapter of the original game. Whoa, a Burmy. That really startled me. Burmy? I swear, you can find Burmy in the trees of just about any park in the city. Bubba. Burmy. Okay. There's a lot of Pokemon just sitting around places. Hello, sir. Oh, another request. So many requests going at once. Oh no, what do I do? This'll be the end of us.
Excuse me.
What's wrong? It looks like something pretty serious. Please, you've got to help me. Just calm down. What exactly happened? Well, you see, I accidentally dropped my wedding ring.
Oh no, that really is serious.
I think it rolled into the gap between these buildings, but it's so narrow I can't reach it down there. I can't show my face at home if I don't get it back.
We can't fit in a gap that narrow either.
Just, like, get a stick. And, like, fish it out with the stick. Easy. Break off a tree branch.
But maybe a small Pokemon could.
Good thinking. A long, slender Pokemon may be just what we need. Let's look around and see if we can find one that's willing to help. Please do. I'm done for if I don't find that ring. So, like, what do you mean the gap between the buildings? So, oh, that, like, is that a gap? I can't turn the camera, so I can't see. Is Burmy what we need? No. I thought its long, stretchy thing at the top would be what we needed. Long, slender Pokemon. And I thought maybe Apom, but... Oops, no reason for us to go this way. I wanted to check the berries. Wanted to check... Okay, we can't go this way either. Which begs the question... Was I wrong about Minccino? Oh, this tree's got berries in it. Pignite would probably like these ones. Then let's hurry and get them to Pignite's partner. There we go. Oh, Detective, did you find some berries? Yes, these were growing on a tree in the Fountain Plaza. Oh yes, these look perfect for Pignite. Night, Pignite. Oh, you're right. It looks really happy.
Now you can go camping, right?
Yes, thank you both so much.
Pignite.
Nice, nice. Oops, no reason for us to go this way. So I'm confused. Oh, Delcatty's the one with the fur around its neck. This sure is a cute Pokemon.
Oh, that's Delcatty. It really is cute. Do you suppose it's going for a walk?
Del? Seems pretty used to humans. Do you think this one is someone's partner?
This fur around its neck's like a fluffy scarf. Charming, isn't it? I could keep petting it all day.
Oh wait, doesn't that fit the characteristics the quiz professor described?
Oh, you may be right. Let's go give her our answer.
Well, I was wrong. I thought it was Cinccino. I like, as much as I have a certain dislike for multi-bodied Pokemon because of how much they confuse me, Phalanx is cool. Just a bunch of little guys. I just wish it didn't confuse me so much. Quiz professor. Oh, does Furret's used for the other quest? Okay. Understando. Maybe it wasn't the the gap that I thought it was. Because fur certainly couldn't fit in a gap as small as what I was looking at.
So, Detective, have you figured out the answer?
All right.
Yes, I have. It's Delcatty, isn't it?
Oh, correct. Was this one a little difficult? Cano. Delcatty eats, sleeps, and lives as it pleases at its own pace. It's very proud of its fur and keeps it clean, so it hates dirty places.
If Pikachu were here, he probably would have gotten into an argument about whose fur was glossier.
Aren't they usually nocturnal too? Seems rare to find one during the day. Oh, I see you know a thing or two about Pokemon. How splendid. And now, without further ado, on to the third and final question. What Pokemon can sense emotions via the protrusions on its head and prefers secluded places?
Cano.
Those are all the hints you get.
The protrusion on its head? What could that be?
I guess we'll have to check some areas where there aren't a lot of people around. Alright, Detective, use those legs and find your answer.
Sensing emotions. Like, my first thought is Rolts, but we haven't seen any Rolts.
Furret. Oh look, a Furret. Do you think this Pokemon would fit inside that gap? Oh, to get that guy's wedding ring? Yeah, Furret will be perfect for the job. Let's ask him. Hey Furret, someone lost something important to him. We could really use your help getting him out of this pinch. Furret? I don't think it understands. Please, he's in a lot of trouble. We seriously need your help.
Furret.
Did it understand? Even if it didn't understand your words, your feelings came loud and clear. I hope so. The person who needs help is over in Fountain Plaza. Can you go help him, Furret?
Furret.
Okay.
I think it really did go off to help him. That'd be such a relief. Come on, let's go see.
I leaned back in my chair and my headphones almost fell off. So I don't... Oh, is it like the gap between the building and that wall or something? I don't know what gap he's talking about. Hi there, this fur just showed up out of nowhere and heroically retrieved my ring for me. You called it for me, right? Thank you so much. It really saved my neck.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't thank us. Thank Furret. Well done, Furret, really. Thank you from me and Tim as well.
Furret.
Please be careful not to drop anything important from now on, okay?
I'll do what I can. I just can't help staring at my ring. It reminds me of how happy my marriage is.
You sound like a real lovely couple. I have to say, though, I'm pretty surprised that Furret was able to tell what we wanted. I experienced that a lot when I was a kid, actually. Maybe it's a trait passed down from Mama. Even when we can't communicate with words, we can still understand each other's feelings.
Furret.
Thanks for your help earlier, Furret. So can we go this way now?
Okay, so there's no new areas available to us. We need to somehow figure out...
Never realized there were actually berries growing on the trees in this city. Just goes to show that a welcoming place like what a welcoming place Rhyme City is for Pokemon.
So we need a Pokemon with protrusions on its head that can sense emotions. That's, it's definitely a description. Are we allowed to go in here? We are. Maybe it's in the police. Oh, indeedy. No, it's not Indeedee. I thought there was an Indeedee here. There is not. Okay, we'll come back to talk to the police officer later. I need to figure out what the hell this is. Protrusions on its head. Sense emotions. I am evidently not as... Oh wait, we haven't gone this way. Is there anything in the parking lot? There is... Makes sense. Makes sense. The Hatena line is all about emotions. Hat? What a quiet Pokemon. Do you know what it is, Rachel? Yes, this is Hatena. It almost never shows itself in front of humans. Hat? Well, it is pretty quiet here in this parking lot. I suppose not a lot of people come here. This Pokemon only appears in front of people with calm hearts and minds. I'd say that describes you, Tim. I must have popped out to see you. If you say so. Wait, is this Hatena might be the Pokemon the quiz professor was talking about. Now that you mention it, it could be. Let's go tell her. Do. Time to finish another request. So, Detective, have you figured out the answer to my final question? Right. Yes, I believe I have. The answer is Hatena, right? You know, if we could turn the camera, that would have been gotten done a lot quicker because I would have seen that there was something inside the parking lot. Oh, so you did get it. Well done and congratulations. Kano. You've probably noticed this already, but Hatena prefers areas without a lot of people. The emotions of others are constantly flowing into its head, so it'll run away if it detects strong feelings. Ayo, it's Shiori. It's all coming together. You have to have a very good You have to be very good at emotional regulation if you hope to have a Hatena as a partner. Sounds like a really sensitive Pokemon. I wonder if Hatena would have appeared there if I'd been by myself. That's all for today's quiz. Excellent job getting every answer right. Kano. Da-da-da. And now we can get back to speaking to the police. And hopefully not getting thrown in prison for interrupting police work. If danger rears its head, you can trust the Rhyme City Police to protect and serve.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I'd just like to ask you a few questions if that's okay. Why is Tim so much taller than the policewoman? Questions for me? I'm happy to answer anything I can. Is Pokemon Entertainment one of your assignments? Yes, it sure is. And we're being extra vigilant for the remainder of Pokemon Friendship Week. Mayor Myers has been promoting it a lot lately. Yes, he has. Pokemon Friendship Week was created in response to the R incident 2 years ago. It represents our ideals of peaceful coexistence with Pokemon. As officers of the law, we work hard to protect that peace. Oh, I see. The police are lucky to have an officer like you. What is that face, Rachel? Was I supposed to read that in a sarcastic tone or something? Like, yeah, the police are lucky to have an officer like you. If anything happens, we'll be there in no time, so you can put your mind at ease. Thanks to the state-of-the-art surveillance cameras we've been using, not a single incident slips by unrecorded. Are the cameras really that special? They are. Our cameras have captured the incriminating moment in every recent incident. Really? Every last one? Are you sure that isn't just a coincidence? I'm sure those cameras are amazing, but that sounds too good to be true. We don't have a lot of surveillance cameras at our disposal, but the few we use are extremely
are extremely effective. I feel like it would have been cooler if she said super effective. Because, you know, Pokemon. We've had so many Pokemon detainment assignments lately. It's pretty shocking how much they've spiked.
Excuse me?
Actually, that's exactly what I'd like to ask you about. Huh? Fancy that? Is Pokemon detainment one of your assigned duties? She literally just said it was. Yes, it is. Recently it feels like detaining Pokemon is all I do. Frankly, that's supposed to be the PPB's responsibility. But they're such a new organization, they don't have enough personnel, leaving police officers like me to pick up their slack. That sounds really tough. I'm sure your department already has enough on their plate. Well, I wouldn't say that. The official story is that the PPB was formed to assist the police, keeping us from spreading ourselves too thin, that sort of thing. But between you and me, Rhyme City's never given us more police work than we can handle. I think the PPB was established as part of the mayor's vision for the city. But, and this goes without saying, working with people and Pokemon are two different ballgames. Yeah, people have their individual quirks, but at least we're all one species. Pokemon, on the other hand, exactly, there's an infinite number of variables we need to be able to respond to in any given situation. Sometimes it all feels way above my pay grade, but with the direction the mayor and the PPB are taking things, there's not much I can do.
Let's think.
Oh, we're already thinking. So we didn't need to talk to the other police officers, just these two. Okay. What is the Pokemon Protection Bureau doing? Let's think about whether there's anything strange about the PPB's activity. The PPB is too busy and rushing their investigations. A police officer said they've been busy lately because the number of Pokemon-related assignments have increased. They probably don't have enough personnel, so their investigations have gone sloppy. Incorrect. The PPB is overzealously detaining Pokemon to prevent future R incidents. Pokemon Friendship Week was established after the R incident. Perhaps the PPB is overzealously detaining Pokemon again because they're afraid of similar incidents happening again. No. R is gone. R is dealt with. I'm trying to remember, because, like, I know the Charizard was, like, the incident that kicked off the whole R saga, and Trevenant was when Tim and Pikachu first found out about R. But I don't remember what case Glalie was involved in. The PPB is staging incidents. There are only a few surveillance cameras in the city, yet every incident was caught on camera. No matter how you slice it, that's too convenient to be a coincidence. I did not mean to press B. Oh, it shuffles the order. Interesting.
Okay.
Morpeko, Impidimp, Inteleon, Pikachu. A lot of Pokemon have been detained in different places. Yet somehow the few surveillance cameras in the city managed to film each one of them. Seems too good to be true. Not to mention the surveillance cameras caught the exact moment each crime was committed. Right. Seems a bit too convenient. Maybe the PPB staged the crimes and filmed them? That's definitely a possibility. Is the PPB staging incidents? All this time, I've just assumed there was another Pikachu. But now I'm having second thoughts. What do you mean? So many Pokemon have caused incidents and been detained in such a short time. I finished my tea, yes. And it seems that the incriminating detail for every one of these incidents has been captured on camera. Rather than finding a double for each and every one of these Pokemon, it would be much easier for them to just use one Pokemon capable of passing as one of the others. If they had a Pokemon that could do that, yeah, if they had a Pokemon like that, it could explain how so many of these incidents occurred in such a short time. So what we should be looking for is a Pokemon that can look like other Pokemon. Right, let's ask around more. Oh, we've already got some more things. Ask people in the city if they saw the Pokemon that really caused these incidents.
Even if the Pokemon Protection Bureau staged the incidents, the actual crimes had to have been committed by a Pokemon. All the partners of the detained Pokemon said the same thing. They're convinced that their Pokemon would never commit the crimes they've been accused of. I can really only think of one possible explanation. A different Pokemon than the ones that were detained committed all the crimes. We've got to find a Pokemon that can make itself look like other Pokemon. Yeah, let's go ask some folks in the city. Let's do that. So everyone we've already spoken to doesn't have anything new to... Oh, never mind. A Pokemon that can look like others.
Excuse me.
Can you think of any Pokemon that able to make itself look like a different one? Yeah, I once met an old lady who had a Ditto for... We found it off the bat. Once met an old lady who had a Ditto for a partner. I'm pretty sure she lived here on 2nd Avenue if memory serves. Really? Thanks very much. Let's keep asking around. Oh, but that didn't give us the... Oh, so one of these ladies. Oh, Ditto, dear. Did you hear someone calling for something? Ditto! Where can it be? Oh, I bet that's Ditto's partner. I think the voice is coming from back here. Let's go check. Oh? Never mind, it's someone else.
Excuse me.
Hello there. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Sure, go right ahead. I've been so lonely, it's nice to have a distraction. What's wrong? Well, you see, my dear Ditto went missing a while ago. So that was your voice we heard just now. Yes, I've been looking for it everywhere, but I just can't find it. I'm worried sick. I hope it shows up again soon. Thanks for trying to cheer me up. I really do miss my Ditto. Ditto loves to play by using Transform, and turns into all sorts of things. But my little one isn't actually very good at using Transform. It can only imitate what it sees with its own eyes. Isn't that how Transform normally works? I mean, in game logic at least, Ditto can only transform into whatever other Pokemon it's in front of. But I guess in like anime logic and non-gameplay logic, Ditto can transform into anything. Sometimes it gets the shape a bit wrong, but that's just what makes it even cuter. That poor woman. She said Ditto's been missing a little while now, right? I know it fits the profile for what we've been searching for, but could it really have gotten tangled up in all these incidents? It's possible, yeah. Is there any way to be sure? Yes, I can ask Pikachu. Ask Pikachu? Oh, yeah, it's about time for my visit for him. With him, rather. So I'll go discuss, talk with... You know, let's just go see how he's doing. Are you sure I can join in on this visit even though I'm not his partner? Yeah, it should be fine. Come on, let's go. You know, at some point you're just going to have to explain it to her. Especially since you're going to be conversing with Pikachu right in front of her face. I still find it kind of interesting that they tried to introduce another female sidekick in this game when, like, the first game already had one. And she still appears in this game as, like, a side character on the news. But I guess maybe they wanted someone who was more around Tim's age. Because I guess, what was her name, Amelia or whatever? She's, I guess, supposed to be a bit older. Seeing as she already has, you know, she's already a successful news reporter and everything. Let me explain our Pokemon partner visitation rules. Visits are allowed in the afternoons. You can visit your partner a maximum of twice per day, but they cannot be consecutive visits. Are you ready to visit your partner? Then follow me.
Yes.
So this is the visitation room.
I feel a little nervous in here. Oh, yeah, it's your first time here. Wait. What is it, Tim? Oh, nothing. Could you actually wait a second for me, Rachel? Yikes, what do I do? I've been keeping the fact that Pikachu and I can speak to each other a secret. What's Rachel going to think when she sees me talking to him? If we're going to keep investigating together, I should just tell her the truth. Are you okay, Tim? You look like you're thinking awfully hard.
Rachel, there's something I want to tell you.
They give a big
What is
dramatic
it?
cutscene
Sounds
for
pretty
this.
serious.
I don't expect you to believe me, but the truth is, I can understand everything Pikachu says.
Here's the thing. I'm sure Tim's voice actor does a good job, like, in other things. I just feel like his delivery in this game is like the flattest shit ever. I don't remember it being this bad in the first game. In the first game, I'm pretty sure he could put energy into his voice when he needed to. But, like, it just kind of feels like he just has the same flat tone the entire time. Every time we get voice lines from him. Time to go back to the old cutscene to compare. Yeah. Maybe I'll just replay the first game at some point. I was at some point back before like the Another Code remake got announced. I was considering just getting another webcam so I could point it at my 3DS and just stream 3DS games like that. And just in the most scuffed way possible. Maybe I stream Detective Pikachu like that. Probably not. I've got enough new games to play through that I don't really have time to go back and revisit old ones at the moment. I know it must be shocking to hear someone say a thing like that. If you don't believe me, I understand. Amazing. Huh? That's incredible, Tim. I'm so jealous that you can communicate with Pokemon. So when you said you'd been solving cases with Pikachu, you meant it literally. How are you able to talk to him? Do you know how that happened? Honestly, I'm not sure myself. He's the only Pokemon I can understand, too. Pikachu interprets for me when I'm speaking to other Pokemon. Wow, Pikachu's pretty clever. It must be your strong bond of trust with Pikachu that lets you understand him. But we were able to talk as soon as we met. Then maybe you just instinctually understood each other's feelings from the start. Yeah, maybe. But hey, you're pretty amazing yourself, you know. You've studied so much about Pokemon, and it's clear how much you care about them. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you saying that. I've always felt this way, that I want to understand Pokemon better and have them understand me as well. Always, huh? Yeah. A Pokemon rescued me when I was a little kid, you know.
Once, when I got lost in the forest in Bamboo Burrow, an Ursa ring helped me out.
An Ursa ring?
That's right. I was cold, lonely, and crying, but it stayed by my side and kept me safe. I know that Ursa ring helped me because it could understand what I was feeling. And that's why I wholeheartedly believe that Pokemon and humans can understand each other's feelings. My mother, I learned that from her.
Understanding each other's feelings. That's really nice.
So I guess this is the confirmation that Rachel's hair is actually dyed and not naturally pink. Considering that cutscene. I remember that day so clearly. That Ursa ring and I really connected back then, heart to heart. And when I told Mama and Papa about it, they said that humans and Pokemon were always meant to be that close. But Papa's changed. All this Pokemon management stuff is so unlike him. And when they've done nothing wrong. I understand how you feel, Rachel. Thanks, Tim. Anyway. Oh, I guess we speak to her. Do you think Pikachu will get here soon? I may not be able to understand him, but it'll be a relief just to see him safe and sound. Yeah, that's how I felt when I visited him yesterday. Here's Pikachu. Hey. I wonder... It's been a while since I had to do the Pikachu voice. It's only been an hour? Jeez, it feels like I've been going for so much longer. I guess that means I'm enjoying myself. Maybe. That's actually the opposite of how the saying goes, but don't worry about it. I wonder if Tim's made any progress in his investigation. Hey, Tim. Thanks for coming to see me. I'm glad to see you're okay, Pikachu. Oh, and Rachel's here too. Hey, Tim, are you sure this is okay? Letting her see us talk like this? About that, I actually just told Rachel our secret a minute ago. She knows that you and I can talk to each other. Wow, that was pretty bold of you. Did she even believe you? Yeah, she even said she was jealous. Well, that's a relief. Rachel's a bit of an odd one, isn't she? Either way, there's still an officer in the room, so we should keep it down. Yeah, I know. So anyway, let's get straight to the point. I've got something important to report to you, Tim. I managed to get help from the other Pokemon in the detainment rooms. Now I can see into all sorts of different places inside the police station. Wow, that's fantastic. Good thing you figured out how to get along with them. We're not exactly best friends or anything like that, but I guess that's okay. There's something else I wanted to talk to you about. Come on, let's pool our information. Hey. I found this photo of the incident occurring at the Fountain Plaza. Check it out. It's a Pikachu. And I don't gotta tell you it's not me. That other Pikachu's the real culprit. But that's your hat in the picture. Yeah, someone must have gotten it specifically to frame me. But it's obvious that isn't me, right? Right. Yeah. I understand now. That's why they just said the yellow back. And because the woman said she can only the Ditto can only mimic what it sees. So because it couldn't see the stripes on Pikachu's back, it couldn't mimic them. This is I love it. This may be silly baby game, but gosh darn, I enjoy it. You've got stripes on your back, but the Pikachu in this photo doesn't have any. Exactly. And I'm curious about that thing on its back. It's the same device that I've got on my back right now, too. I asked around the city yesterday about those devices. Based on the testimony I gathered, I'm pretty sure they're meant to keep Pokemon pacified. To keep them from going berserk, you mean? Hey. Were you able to track down the real culprit, the other Pikachu? No, we found some tracks, but they trailed off. I don't know where it went. Too bad. Sorry I haven't been able to prove your innocence yet. Hey, no need to apologize. I know you're trying your best. If you couldn't find it, you couldn't find it. What's important is what you do next. Yeah, and as for this double of yours, I think there's a high chance that a different Pokemon was impersonating you. You think so? Now there's an intriguing theory. By the way, Pikachu, what kinds of Pokemon are helping you in there? There's a lot of them, but the most helpful one is Luxray. He's a bit rough around the edges, but he can see through objects and use powerful electric-type moves. that's just a still from the cutscene. That vision thing sounds pretty handy, but if he knows strong electric-type moves... Let me stop you right there. I don't think Luxray's the culprit at all. If he were, the PPB wouldn't have had any cause to arrest me in the first place. Yeah, good point. Oh, that reminds me. Luxray asked me to pass on a message to you.
What is it? He wants to know if his friend Mightyena how his friend Mightyena is doing out there. The two of them got in a fight after Luxray. The two of them got in a fight, and Luxray's worried about what happened in the aftermath. He says Mightyena usually hangs around 2nd Avenue. Got it. I'll keep an eye out for Mightyena and let you know how it's doing. Thanks, Tim.
Hey.
So, any guesses about what Pokemon was pretending to be me?
I have an idea, but I need to consider all the possibilities. Let's see.
Let's think.
Ba-da-ba. Which Pokemon committed the crimes? Let's think it over. Was it Luxray? Because it can use powerful electric-type moves. Was it Pikachu? Because that means he had the device, so he could have committed the crime when he wasn't conscious. Or was it Ditto? The Pikachu in the photo doesn't have any straps on its back. That must be because the Pikachu is actually a Ditto that isn't good at using Transform and can only imitate what it can see. Cool as hell.
A Ditto, huh? Yeah, a Ditto could have made itself look like me.
Ditto's partner said the Ditto can only copy things it can see. That probably explains why there are no stripes on the Pikachu's back in the photo.
But I've looked in every detainment cell and I couldn't see a Ditto in any of them.
That's strange. If it was detained, it should be in a detainment cell.
Guess I better search the other rooms in the station.
Ditto, use Transform! If the PPB and the police have been using Ditto,
then they're definitely up to no good.
So that's it.
What is it? What is it, Tim?
I saw Brad out several times while I was investigating. He seemed to be examining the scene of the crime, a crime which already had a culprit.
That's kind of suspicious.
I really don't want to suspect Brad, but I can't help but wonder what he was up to.
Yeah, Brad may be a bit of a jerk, but we've still known him for 2 years now. I don't like having to think of him as a suspect. But you do need to look into what he's been up to, Tim.
But
Tim, you're a detective, aren't you? You're not trying to bring Brad down. You're only trying to uncover the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
And look into the cube-shaped devices too. I understand their function to pacify Pokemon, but that alone doesn't explain everything.
You're right. The Pikachu in the photo that damaged the Slowpoke. The devices may have some other function as well.
Oh damn, there's 3 rows.
I didn't realize we could fill in the bottom row of the flowchart as well. I wonder what Brad was doing at the crime scenes.
I suppose you could ask him, but if he was up to something shady, he might give us the runaround.
In that case, maybe we should ask the other police officers.
Agreed. You might want to ask people in the city what they think of him too.
So about how those cube-shaped devices work.
I keep losing my memory here at the police station, so I really don't know much about him. Try asking people in the city about him. I'm sure there are people who have seen those devices attached to Pokemon. Try hearing what they've got to say.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
How did your talk with Pikachu go? As it turns out, he's been investigating the police station top to bottom. Wow, just like a spy.
Hey, I'm not a spy. I'm a great detective. Visiting time is over. I wish I had more time. Good luck with your investigation. Not this again. Darn it.
What is it, Pikachu?
It's just like yesterday. That feeling when I'm about to lose my memories. And my body's moving on its own.
Pikachu. It's no use. Is Pikachu okay? He was walking kind of strange just now. He was like that after our first visit too. I'm worried about him.
All right.
So there are 2 things you need to do. We need to do. First, find Brad.
Second, look into what those cube-shaped devices actually do. Is Brad that man we saw in the plaza? You know him, right? I hope you don't end up squaring off against each other because of this case. Yeah, it'd be pretty scary. But we don't know for sure that'll happen. We don't know for sure yet that that'll even happen. Let's just concentrate on uncovering the truth. Oh, and one more thing. If we see Mighty Anna, we need to check and see how it's doing. Mighty Anna? Yeah, Pikachu asked me to check in on it. Apparently it's friends with a Luxray at in the station. Wow, you talked about all that? It just sounded like Pika Pika to me. Yeah, that's normal. I'm pretty sure I'm the weird one here. Not weird, Tim. Exceptional! Thanks, Rachel. I'm glad I opened up to you.
Detectives?
Oh, sorry, I guess we shouldn't keep talking here.
No, that's fine. Were you talking about Brad just now?
Yes, there's something we'd like to ask him about.
Well, if you're looking for Brad, he just headed out to 2nd Avenue on new orders.
Really? Thanks for letting us know. Okay, we're headed to 2nd Avenue, right? Let's go hear what Brad has to say. However, he may also give us some other information.
Back to visit your Pikachu again, are you? You sure?
Ugh. Sorry about that.
You sure are passionate about this case.
Excuse me?
Actually, that's not why I'm here. Can I ask you a question or two? About the situation in the city. Did anything strange happen in the city today?
I don't know if I'd necessarily call it strange, but there have been several Pokemon-related incidents. At this rate, they're gonna fill up every detainment room we've got.
That must be pretty stressful for the Pokemon.
If they're stressed, they can work it out during their daily exercise time.
Okay, nothing to report there. Oh, there's a Machamp. What's all this then?
Excuse me?
Good evening. May I ask you some questions? Is something the matter? Did anything unusual happen in the city today? What do you mean by unusual? I mean, we respond to incidents every day. With so many Pokemon-related incidents, it feels like things are anything but usual. Sounds like a lot to deal with. It may be a lot, but it's my job. All I can do is keep doing my best. If danger rears its head, you can trust Rhyme City, the police, to protect and serve.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, but I was hoping to ask you about something. Did anything unusual happen in the city today? Well, there were a number of incidents. Would you like me to tell you about each one? Listening to them all could take a while. No, I don't need that much detail. I'm just looking for more general information. Sorry to trouble you, it sounds like your department is really busy. Oh, it's no trouble at all. Anything to protect the peace of our fine city.
Machamp!
It's a big boy. Champ. Wow, check out those muscles.
Just look at my Machamp. Aren't his muscles a sight to behold? Why do I get the feeling Machamp's gonna end up in prison? Machamp and Maractus, probably. And potentially the Apom, too.
He certainly looks extremely strong. You got anything new?
Excuse me?
Thanks for your help earlier. Mind if I ask you some more questions? Or are you here to ask about my Impidimp again? No, this time it's about something else. Did anything strange happen today after we talked? No, that was it. And Impidimp still hasn't come back. I wonder what the poor little guy's doing in the police station right now. Yeah, me too. He could be lonely in there. I'm more worried about if he's getting up to his usual pranks and causing trouble for the police. He's always got so much excess energy to burn. I can only hope he behaves himself and gets let out soon. Oh? I don't know what to do.
Excuse me?
Is everything okay? Well, I live on a back street just off Fountain Plaza, you see. I always walk through the plaza on my way home.
But now whenever I'm walking through the plaza, I keep hearing this strange voice. A strange voice? Yes, but when I turn around to see who's making it, there's never a soul in sight. Do you think it's a ghost? Of course not. I'm sure there's a logical explanation. See, this is something that's always been felt a bit silly to me about the Pokemon series. There are ghost-type Pokemon, but any instance of quote-unquote ghosts is treated as something like ooky spooky and like, oh, that can't possibly be real. I guess ghosts and ghost-type Pokemon are two different things. I don't know. I hope so, but until I know what that voice is, the plaza's just too creepy for me to go anywhere near. The case of the Rhyme City ghost. Doesn't it make you curious, Tim? It sure does. Let's investigate. Thank you for your help. All I want is to feel safe enough to walk through the plaza again. Alright. Request number 5. I get the feeling it's Burmy. She has a voice coming from the tree, but it's so well disguised that she can't see it. This is where the woman said she heard a strange voice. Low. Whoa, I really did hear something. Isn't that a Pokemon cry? Is it? Yeah, I can't quite tell what species, but it's gotta be a Pokemon. Wherever it's coming from, it can't be far. Let's take a look around. It's a Tailo. Low. Who's that Pokemon? Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu! It's Tailo! They really committed to the bit there. So that's what was crying out. Low. Boy, it's loud. Why do you suppose it's making so much noise? I have a feeling this Tailo only recently left its nest. Apparently young Tailo often become lonely and start loudly crying out for their parents. Gosh, now I'm kind of worried for it. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be fine. Tailo are also known for being gutsy. Keep your spirits up, Tailo. Low! Well then, let's go report what we found. Okie dokie. Oh, Detective, how did the investigation go? Turns out the voice you heard was a Tailo's. I think it was crying out because it only just left its nest, so it's lonely. What a relief. Now I know there's nothing to worry about when I pass by. Oh, but if it's not much trouble, would you mind introducing yourself to Tailo? I'm sure if there's someone checking in on it, it'll feel safer too. Good idea. I actually just arrived in Rhyme City myself. I'll say hello to Tailo whenever I'm on my way home. I hope we can be friends. Thanks. I bet you two will become friends in no time. Da-da-da. Oh-ho? Something is happening. I called the police, so I'm sure they'll do something about it soon. I hope the police can take care of this quickly. Oh-ho? Oh, you two, you shouldn't go this way. It's dangerous. Huh? Did something happen? There's an angry Pokemon back there, and we should probably leave it alone for a while. What do you think, Tim? Sounds like a police officer came this way. I think Brad must have gone this way. And so should we. Just keep an eye out for that angry Pokemon. Yeah, there's Brad. Oh, it's Mighty Anna. Now then, we're going to have to detain this Pokemon properly. It's Brad. And it sounds like he's just about to detain a Pokemon. Oh no, Mighty Anna.
Oh.
It's a Mighty Anna. Wait, Tim, isn't that... Yeah, it's the Pokemon Pikachu asked me to check up on, Luxray's friend. Well, if it isn't our great detective, you're welcome to observe, but don't get in our way. This Mighty Anna is preventing the residents from passing through.
Not only that, this same Mighty Anna was previously involved in an altercation with a Luxray. This Pokemon poses a clear threat to the public. I'm afraid we'll have to detain it until we can calm it down.
Wait, Brad.
And you are? Wait, you're the mayor's daughter, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Howard's daughter, Rachel. Just look at this Mighty Anna, Brad. The poor thing is injured. Ina. Please at least treat its wounds before you take it in. Don't you feel sorry for Mighty Anna?
I'll make sure it receives treatment after I've taken it to the station. Will that satisfy you?
No, it won't. We'll treat Mighty Anna ourselves then.
Who, you two? My, who knew you were so talented?
Tim, let's get help from a Pokemon. Are we even sure there's a Pokemon that can help? We'll go find one right now. I'm sure there's one in the city somewhere.
Somewhere?
Maybe we can find a Chansey or an Audino or an Indeedee or something. Okay, let's have a look around the city.
Find a Pokemon that can treat wounds. Yeah, sure, just...
I didn't mean to go that way.
Sure, just have him run around the entire city and... Hello, Pumpkaboo.
Oh, that's perfect, because it's almost Halloween. I've got a little jack-o'-lantern. Nice.
Pokemon that can treat wounds. Is there anyone else over here? Or is it just the Hatena? I don't think Hatena can... Oh?
Hatan. I didn't expect to find a Hatena in a place like this. Let's not bother it.
Okay. Treat wounds. Because I was thinking Indeedee before, but then, like, it was not an Indeedee. Treat wounds. I guess we haven't walked down the main street at night yet, so maybe there's a different Pokemon out and about. Are these guys still here? Yeah. These guys are still there. He's still there. Aha, perfect.
Oh, hello there. Did you need something?
Excuse me?
I was hoping to ask you some questions.
You'll have to speak up, young man. My ears aren't quite what they used to be.
It's an Indeedee. I used one of these on my team in the Crown Tundra DLC for Sword and Shield.
Look, Tim, Indeedee.
Hello, hey, you two. What do you think you're doing?
A Pokemon is hurt. Please, we need Indeedee's help.
Ah, is that so? Very well. You should always help one another in times of need. Go with them, Indeedee. You can help them out.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. This way, Indeedee.
Yay. It appears that Mighty Anna has recovered nicely. Not fully, but at least it's stable for now. Now, I trust this is enough to put your mind at ease, Rachel.
I appreciate you waiting for us to get it treated.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about, Brad, before you take Mighty Anna away. And what's that, great detective? There's something off about all these Pokemon detainments the police have been doing. Every single incident was caught by surveillance cameras. That's too convenient to be natural. Surely you've noticed, Brad. Innocent Pokemon are being framed. That's what happened to my Pikachu, and he can't be the only one. So you're suspicious of the surveillance cameras? But the footage on those cameras is incriminating evidence. Unless, great detective, you've found evidence that Pokemon are being framed? No, not yet. In that case, I have no choice but to take this Mighty Anna into custody. It's my duty. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Detaining Mighty Anna now, sir.
Aw.
I hope Mighty Anna's okay.
It'll be with Pikachu and the others at the station. I'm sure it'll be fine. This is all just so frustrating. We couldn't even stop Brad. If we just had some proof. We have to find some. We need to find some. Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad Mighty Anna finally calmed down. Now we can finally get through here safely.
Hey!
Hey, Tim. I bet we could talk to these people right now. You're right. Let's see what they have to say. So that's what these NPCs are actually for. Thank you for calming Mighty Anna down just now. You really did us a favor.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't actually do much. Do you mind if we ask you some questions? Oh, what did you need? Do you know anything about the cube-shaped devices that are used when Pokemon are detained? You mean those things they stick to their backs? The way they glow, they're pretty hard to miss. Glowing backs, huh? Kinda reminds me of Volbeat or Illumise. Oh, and the Pokemon seem to really dislike those devices. How could you tell? I saw a Pokemon struggling and flailing its limbs. About Brad.
Excuse me.
Do you know anything about Brad McMaster? He's the police. Reading is hard. He's the police lieutenant who is just here. Not really, but he certainly was easy on the eyes. Yeah, he gives Rhyme City's finest a whole new meaning. Yeah, okay. I don't think we're going to learn anything useful about Brad from these two.
Hey!
What should we do now, Tim? I doubt we'll be able to speak to Brad directly anymore today. Let's talk to some other people. Lucky for us, there still seem to be a bunch of people out and about. I hope we can learn more about Brad from those cube-shaped devices. Oh, hello. Oh, another? No, what'll I do?
Excuse me.
Do you need some help with something? Afraid so. See that building back there? One of my kids accidentally threw a ball up under the roof. But I can't get up there to retrieve it, so I'm not sure what to do. No kidding. I can't even see that high from here. That high up from here. Scaling the wall is pretty much out of the question. Yep, and the icing on the cake? I foolishly promised my kids I'd have their ball back to them by tomorrow. There's gotta be some way to get to it. Any ideas? Actually, I think this calls for some Pokemon help. Then let's go look for a Pokemon that's good at climbing buildings. We'll see what we can do. Please wait here for a bit. Really? Thank you so much. It's gonna be a Sneasler. No. Sneasler don't exist in this time period. Or I guess they do, but they're probably rare. I don't know how the lore around Hisuian Pokemon works anymore. Oh, Apom. Yeah, that's what Apom's for. So I guess they're just going to be they detained the Mighty Anna, and then they're also going to get the Machamp and the Maractus, I reckon. Apol. I see the Apom of Rhyme City are as energetic as ever. His tail is clipping through her leg. Say, these Pokemon are good at climbing trees, aren't they? You think one of them could retrieve that guy's ball? Oh, that's a great idea. Apom? Hey, Apom, I was wondering if you could help us. Do you think you could get a ball hauled down from up on a rooftop? Apom? Please, Apom, you're the only one who can help. Apom!
Alright.
Oh look, there it goes. I think we managed to get our feelings across. I hope it manages to get that ball down. Let's go see. So I'm guessing we've probably got like one more day of investigation left in this case. I'd like to finish like chapter 3 by today, but we'll see. Ah, you're the two from earlier. Guess what? After you left, an Apom appeared and got the ball all for me. So it helped you out after all? Glad to hear it. Aha! I figured you sent it over. It was such a huge help. My kids will be so happy now. Though I had better give them a stern talking to about taking care of their things. Don't go too hard on them. Kids will be kids.
Looks like Apom wants to play with the ball too.
Apo! Oh, do you want to play with my kids? They'd be happy to have an Apom for a friend.
Apo. Looks like you're happy to make new friends too, Apom.
Da-da-da. I'm guessing that's probably all the requests for this chapter. But who really knows? Hold on, where's the Litten? There were a Glameow and a Litten there before, but now the Litten's gone. Did they detain the Litten as well?
I'll prepare more questions for your next quiz. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am.
Kano. Sure. Can't wait. Time to interview the people. What do you need?
Do you know a man named Brad McMaster who works for the Rhyme City Police? He's tall and typically wears a blue suit.
Oh, he just came to see me earlier. Yeah, he asked me to tell him about Impidimp. Yeah. Brad's clued onto the fact that something shady's going on. He's going around and re-investigating all of the crimes that have supposedly been already solved. So I told him, well, everything. How much Impidimp loves playing pranks, his fondness for shiny things, stuff like that. The lieutenant was a really good listener. He took it all very seriously. But I never figured out exactly why he was asking me all that.
I see. Thanks again for your help. So Brad was asking about an Impidimp who'd already been detained. Just what is Brad up to?
Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm getting sleepy.
Excuse me?
Thanks for your help earlier. Do you mind if I ask some more questions?
About my Intellion?
No, this is about something else.
Did anything strange happen today after we talked? Intellion hasn't come back yet, has he? No, he hasn't. I think he's still at the police station. The shop sure is lonely without Intellion. It's hard to tell for sure, but I think even the flowers are drooping a bit. Intellion always took such good care of them. I really hope he can come back soon. Do you know a man named Brad McMaster who works for the Rhyme City Police? He's tall and typically wears a blue suit. Oh yes, the lieutenant just left in fact.
Really? Do you know what he was doing here?
The same thing as usual, as you, actually. Investigating the flower display Intellion was accused of vandalizing. I couldn't make out what, but he was muttering to himself the whole time. Just like at Fountain Plaza, Brad sure spends a lot of time returning to the scene of the crime. But why is he investigating these crimes after the Pokemon have already been detained? It really makes me wonder.
And then talk to him as well, I guess.
Excuse me?
Thanks for your help earlier. Do you mind if I ask you some more questions? About my Morpeko? I've already told you everything I know.
No, this is about something else. Did anything strange happen today after we talked?
Not really. I was so shocked after they took Morpeko from me that I couldn't find the motivation to do anything else with my day.
Did you try going to the police station? You might be able to visit Morpeko there.
Oh, that thought never even occurred to me. I'll try visiting tomorrow.
Do you know a man named Brad McMaster who works for the Rhyme City Police? He's tall and typically wears a blue suit.
Yeah, I just met him. He came to ask me some questions.
Oh really? About what?
The lieutenant asked me for details on Morpeko's ability. So I explained how Morpeko's appearance changes when the typing of his aura wheel move changes, depending on whether he's hungry or full. I'm starting to think that this is another case of the Ditto getting something wrong. Like, Ditto mimicked the wrong appearance and then used aura wheel with the type corresponding to its other appearance, or something like that. Side note, why is Morpeko's ability so fucking useless? Like, it has a full-on form change, but the only thing that changes is the type of one move, and you don't even need to use that move. I feel like if you're going to have a full-on form change, it should do more.
Maybe Brad came to the same conclusion we did, Tim. It doesn't make sense for Morpeko's aura wheel to have been electric type if he was hungry when he used it. If that's true, then what exactly is Brad trying to do?
Has that injured Pokemon gotten any better?
Yes, it's recovering quickly thanks to Indeedee.
Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Remember, helping each other out in times of need is the secret to a long life.
Okay. That's all the people. Oh, we can go in here and ask people about stuff, I guess. No harm in seeing.
Hey.
Oh! There's even more requests! Jesus Christ, how many requests are there? At some point, I'm inevitably going to end up missing one. Oh hey, there's a Sinistee. Hi, Tim, welcome. Perfect timing, actually. I've got a favor to ask. How can I help? I can't get the lid off this jar. Could you please open it for me? Sure, if that's all you need. Huh? The lid won't budge. No good, eh? It was worth a shot. I ordered some gourmet preserves to use in my cooking, but I guess you could say I'm in a jam. I don't have a rim shot sound alert, so just imagine there's a rim shot here, but tish. Hold on. Actually, I've got something better. Where is it?
Funny. Different map.
A strong Pokemon might be able to help open it. Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Can you think of any Pokemon in the area strong enough to open a stubborn jar lid? Not off the top of my head, but I can keep an eye out for one. Thanks, Tim. Go ahead and take the jar with you. Well, I know who that's going to be, so I guess we'll go do that. So many side quests. And our only reward is a story in a newspaper.
Marcham.
Champ.
Yes.
He sure looks strong. Have you come to check out my awesome Machamp? I'm so proud of him, so I guess Machamp is not going to prison. Maractus, though. Maractus. Not exactly. Oh, maybe he can help out with our problem. See, we've been looking for a Pokemon that can open up this jar of jam. Oh, that'll be a piece of cake. I mean, it's jam, but you get the idea. Give it a twist, Machamp. Champ. Wow, great job. He opened the jar like it was nothing. Haha.
A little thing like that isn't even a warm-up for my super-powered partner. Thanks a lot. We've got to get this back to Pablo. Good to see you back, Tim. How'd it go? Great. Here, take a look. Oh! What Pokemon did you ask for help? A Machamp popped the lid right off for us. A Machamp? Sounds like that stubborn jar lid never stood a chance. Anyway, I'd better whip you up a little thank you gift for these preserves. Thanks very much, but we can wait till another time. Are you sure? Yeah, we're in the middle of an investigation, and if Pikachu didn't get to try some too, I'd never hear the end of it. True that. Then I'll hold off on making something until all three of you can stop by together. Thanks, Pablo. Da-da-da.
Hey.
Hey, Tim, I take it Pikachu's not out yet? No, he's not. Sorry to hear that. He's one of my favorite regulars, so this place gets kinda lonely when he's not around. Isn't this cup kinda... Sinisty. Nisty. Whoa, it's a Pokemon. Hey, Sinisty, stop startling the customers. Wait, is this an antique form, Sinisty? Could you let me see the underside of your teacup real quick? Sin. Oh look, there's a mark. That means you're a rare little Sinisty, aren't you? What do you mean by antique form, Rachel? Most Sinisty are phony form Sinisty that inhabit forged teacups. But every now and then a Sinisty takes up residence in a valuable antique teacup. You can tell if the cup's a genuine antique by the mark of authenticity on the bottom. They're seriously rare. Wow, Rachel, you're not just knowledgeable, you've got an excellent eye for detail too. Nisty. Looks like it's happy to receive so many compliments. It must be able to sense your excitement, Rachel. Oh, the news is on. Looks like there are more Pokemon-related incidents today. At this rate, it seems like they'll never stop. We've got to hurry and figure out what's going on. I keep coming back to this cafe every day to get more of their coffee. That rich flavor is simply the best. Whenever I come to eat here after work, all my exhaustion from the day just melts away. This place feels like a second home to me. Say, what's a teapot doing here?
Tea?
It's Poltegeist. Hot take, I like Sinisty, don't really like Poltegeist. That's just my personal preference for how I like object mons to look. Polty. What, something's in here? That's a Poltegeist. It's a Pokemon that lives in a teapot. Oh yeah, one day it just showed up out of the blue and it's been here ever since. Okay, so I guess maybe I wasn't supposed to go in here and talk to people. I liked this place so much yesterday, I couldn't resist coming back. Just watching Ludicolo warms my heart. Still, it's a good thing we did come back here, because Pablo had a job for us to do. So who's left for us to talk? Oh, probably the police officer. He's probably got new stuff to say now that we're like specifically going like, hey, what's going on with Brad? And probably the devices too. Yeah. How can I help you, Detective? Thanks for letting us know about Lieutenant McMaster. No trouble at all. What did you need him for anyway? Oh, I just remembered something about the incident Pikachu was involved in. I thought I could help with the investigation, so I wanted to tell the lieutenant in person. Understood. Thanks for reporting whatever info you can. Do you know anything about those cube-shaped devices being put on Pokemon as they're detained? Oh, those things? I hear they're management tags. I don't quite understand how they work, but they're pretty interesting. The moment a Pikachu is outfitted with a device, it goes with the police without any resistance. It's mind control. Really? The Pokemon do that on their own? Yes, it's much safer when they aren't violent.
Let's think.
Okay.
Let's figure out what those cube-shaped devices really are. Could they be devices that make Pokemon stand out? The cube-shaped devices on Pokemon's backs emit a glow that can catch people's attention. Are those devices used to make Pokemon stand out more? Could they be devices for controlling people? Pokemon with the devices attached on their backs obediently complied with whatever the police told them. Are those devices capable of controlling Pokemon? Could they be devices that make Pokemon go berserk? The Pokemon with devices attached to their back apparently went berserk and destroyed things. I mean, kind of both. Like, it is a device for controlling Pokemon, but if you can control them, then you can make them go berserk.
Okay.
Those devices might actually be capable of controlling Pokemon. You really think so? I do. We don't have any evidence yet, of course, but it seems that way based on what we've heard. If that's true, then Ditto was forced to obey someone else's orders, yeah. That's terrible. Ba-ba-dum. If the Pokemon are being controlled with the cube-shaped devices, there must be some way to give the Pokemon orders. If the person orchestrating these crimes was controlling Ditto, how are they able to give it orders? Based on all the witness statements so far, it's not clear whether someone was directing Ditto's actions. True, but there had to have been someone at the crime scene talking directly to Ditto, right? Yeah, I can't really think of any other method they could have used. Maybe a witness saw someone giving out orders. Yeah, we should ask around. But first... Oh, I don't have enough evidence. I'll wait until we actually fill that up. Even though it's pretty clear what Brad is doing, I want to get all the evidence, you know? Thank you for the redeem sphere. And stretch. Is something the matter?
Excuse me?
Do you happen to know Lieutenant McMaster? Of course, we work together on a regular basis. He excels at performing his duty. His investigations are so thorough and efficient that Pokemon are detained almost as fast as the case itself is opened. In fact, Lieutenant McMaster has the highest crime clearance rate in the entire department. I'm pretty sure the one we've already... The one potential answer we've already got is the correct answer, but oh well. Wow, I didn't realize Brad was so highly regarded. Is it true that you use cube-shaped devices when you're detaining Pokemon? Oh yeah, those things? We've got orders from the PPB to attach them to Pokemon. How do the devices function? Who knows? They never really gave us any details. Oh, is something troubling you? Is something troubling you again?
Excuse me?
Do you happen to know Lieutenant McMaster? Yes, of course. The Lieutenant's really been throwing himself into his work lately. The one weird thing I've noticed, though, is that recently he's been going out and working on his own. And at the scenes of crimes that have already been solved at that. Why would he be doing that? I really couldn't tell you. Is it true that you use cube-shaped devices when you're detaining Pokemon? Ah, you must mean the management tags. What makes a management tag different from any other tag? I'm really not sure. I think they're really high-tech or something. I mean, they're machines after all. They've probably got little computers inside or something. Do you know anything specific about their function? Well, I'm ashamed to say, but not really. I think the higher-ups in the PPB know how they work, though. I see.
Let's think.
Begin deducing. I've collected a good amount of information about Brad. Now it's time to organize it and think this through. He's hiding evidence of the crimes. The reason Brad closes so many cases is because he commits the crimes himself and then solves them. He visits the crime scenes to hide evidence that would incriminate him. He's casing locations for future crimes. Brad might be visiting crime scenes alone because he's casing areas for future crimes. He's conducting his own research. We've seen Brad at several crime scenes. He might be investigating the incidents on his own.
Okay.
If Brad were the one giving orders to Ditto, there'd be no reason for him to go around asking questions after detaining the Pokemon. So you think Brad's just investigating the incidents, like we are? Yeah, I do. Ba-wa-lam.
Okay.
Now we know Brad isn't the culprit, and we got that tip about Ditto too. We should tell Pikachu as soon as we can. At night? Would they even let us see him? The officer at the reception desk said that we could visit up to twice a day. As long as the station's open, I think it'll be fine. Okie dokie. Ah. Bumped my controller on the bottom of my desk. Would you like to visit Pikachu now? Then follow me. Let's go visit Pikachu. Tamer Day 2, Pikachu Evening. Oh! I guess we're doing a bit of investigation with Pikachu first. So maybe there's not a second day of investigation. Well, a third day, rather. It's just the second day is longer because there's more segments. I'm in the detainment room now. Great. Back again with missing memories. A mystery for another time. Right now, my goal is the chief's office on the second floor. There was a duct in his office, but it doesn't seem to be connected to the ones down here in the detainment. I'll have to go up to the first floor and search for a duct that connects to the chief's office. I guess I'll go see Luxray first, though. I can look for a duct leading to the chief's office after that. You've kept me waiting. How's the investigation going? It's going. It's going. And relax. This is one great detective you can count on. Great detective? I swear I've heard that somewhere. Let's talk to Sableye as well. Are you heading out to explore the station again? Yeah, we found a room that looks important, so I'm gonna rustle up some clues. Well, considering you passed my treasure hunt test with flying colors, I bet you'll come back with something amazing to share with us. Let's see, which room should I go to?
All right, Pangoro. Go slow, okay?
Aim for a speed record, God. They're really showing these cutscenes every time we go to a different room, huh? Just a tiny little loading screen between them.
I did it! Ow.
Silly. You're going out investigating again, are you not? If I could only fit through these ducts, I'm sure I'd be able to help you too.
Thanks. It's the thought that counts.
When are we gonna get out of here?
That depends on what info I find. I'm heading out right after this.
I'm dying to see my partner, so you better pull through. Hi, Luxray. What is it? Do you need my help again?
Thanks for the offer, but you won't be able to get through the ducts. My plan is to take him up to the first floor and aim for the chief's office.
Then I suppose I'll just leave that to you.
Yep, you can count on me. Oh yeah, when I talked to Tim earlier, I passed on your message about Mightyena.
I don't know if it's supposed to be Mightyena or Mightyena. Like, I used to say Mightyena because it's, like, based on hyena. But I feel like I've heard Mightyena a lot more.
Ah, thank you. Hey, no sweat. Just hang tight until our next visit, and I'll fill you in on his report.
Well, we're gonna see Mightyena sooner rather than later.
Let's see, which room should I go to?
Come on, Lightbird. You got this?
I'll try. I do hope we're successful. Crawling through the vents. Well, now I'm on the first floor, but there are lots of police officers up here. If they spot me, I'll get thrown right back into the detainment room. Anyway, where should I go? It's another heckin' stealth mission. Except this time I don't have a partner trailing behind me. It's time for solid Ekans. Looks like there's a duct way back there. Based on the floor plan, I'm guessing the duct should connect to the chief's office. Guess there's no point in standing around. Muscles don't fail me now. Sneaky, sneaky. Can't believe they put frickin' stealth segments in this game. Let's wait here, see what they do. Okay, so they turn around. Randomly look around at the room, and then turn back to look there. Whoa! Didn't realize there was a dude there. He's going back that way. Whoa! That's some great animation. Sort of walk in place. Amazing. Okay, so probably what we need to do is when he's looking that way, we gotta zoom right by him. Go, 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 go. Oh boy, know what to do about Mr. Man up there. He goes that way, then looks down this hallway. Oh, does the other guy just sort of stopped? Oh, up here. Alright, I made it to the duct. I guess I gotta climb up there. I just hope it really does connect to the chief's office.
Well, here goes nothing.
It's gonna...
Why are they all so high up?
Okay, so it's not a quick time event then. Cool. It's just another cutscene.
Ow. I think this is making me shorter.
Finally out of there. This has gotta be the chief's office. Just look at it. Looks like my little stealth mission was a success, as expected. Now let's find out what you're really up to, Butler. He didn't say chief. It's the Ditto! Transform sorta. Hey, you're that Ditto we've been hearing about, aren't you? Is this where you've been? Wow, it's a Pikachu. You know about me? Yeah, I know all about you. Matter of fact, I got some questions for you.
Hey,
What are you even doing here, Ditto? I've been here for ages, using Transform to turn into all kinds of Pokemon. Mr. Man always... Mr. Man... Mr. Man always asks me to do it here in this room. He says, transform into this Pokemon. But after I use Transform, my head always goes all fuzzy. So I don't really remember what happens after that. You've been experiencing memory loss too, eh, Ditto? I know just how you... Hey, wait a minute. Did Ditto make itself look like me and break that Slowpoke statue while its memories were missing?
Was someone using this room earlier? Was someone in this room earlier? A guy called Butler?
Yep, Mr. Man's here all the time. Not right here. Not right now, though.
You're not Butler's partner, though, are you?
Partner? No, my best friend is Granny. Mr. Man is the person who brought me here. He's really nice.
Butler? Nice? With a mean mug like that?
He gives me lots of compliments when I use Transform.
Hey, Ditto. You haven't seen your Granny in a while, have you?
Nope, nuh-uh. Will I get to see her if I keep waiting in this room?
I'm afraid not, Ditto. Wait as long as you like. She won't be showing up here anytime soon.
Huh? Really?
This poor Ditto's just another victim.
Hey,
There's a safe in this room. You know that big box?
Yep, it's right over there.
Do you know what's inside?
I saw Mr. Man move papers in and out of that box lots of times. He sings a weird song whenever he opens or closes the box.
A song?
Yeah. 515. 020. That's what Mr. Man sings when he opens the box.
515 020. Like that?
Yeah, just like that. You're a real good singer. 515 020.
Got it. Thanks. Sounds to me like a 6-digit number.
thanks.
Thanks for telling me all that stuff. By the way, Ditto, do you mind turning around for a second?
Huh? What is it? Do I have something on me?
Sorry about this. Feel like I've almost got it. I'm guessing I'm not strong enough to pull the device off. I thought I might be able to remove it and stop Ditto from doing any more bad things.
Huh? What? Did you say something?
Oh, nope, nothing at all.
Alright. Safe time.
Here's Butler's safe, and that song Ditto told me about must be the passcode. Alright, time to crack it open and see what's inside.
515 020.
Yeah.
Alright, it worked. Let me see what we've got in here. A packet of papers and some photos. I just hope this info helps us get out of here.
Let me see.
The cover of this instruction manual has diagrams of those cube-shaped devices. Guess that means it's got details on how to use them. So these things are called control cubes. It says there are special controllers to operate the cubes remotely. They must have used those controllers to make us walk up to the roof. Sheesh, that's totally not disturbing or anything.
Let me see.
Looks like paperwork sent to Butler from some sort of organization. And the organization's name is Unitas. Wait a sec, these are orders to Butler. What sort of organization can order around the chief of the Pokemon Protection Bureau?
Okay, so that's where the story's going then. So we figured out the conspiracy in the PPB, but the PPB are just pawns of Unitas. So I guess we gotta investigate Unitas.
Just who are these Unitas people? His orders are to capture Pokemon and transfer them. Looks like this has been ongoing for 6 months already, but the numbers shot up in the last month, and it was all going on right under my nose. I really dropped the ball. What's this about compensation? These numbers show how much Unitas has been paying Butler, and the payments are for sending the captured Pokemon being kept at this station to some other location. These are photos of their targets. Hey wait, that's me! Butler was under orders to capture me? But what the heck for? There's nothing here. Nothing here's giving me any insight into Unitas's actual goals. Oh, there's a photo of some humans. This lady looks awfully familiar. Oh, I remember her, that's Jessica. I'm pretty sure we met her in the cafe the other day. Wasn't she friends with Rachel? Why is Jessica circled in red? I've got to let Rachel know about this. Who's that woman next to Jessica? Say, isn't that Howard Myers? Mayor Howard Myers? And next to him, it's that scientist Murloc. The guy who plucked some of my fur. Sauce. There's a report Butler wrote to someone. It goes on at length about how he's been rounding up Pokemon to help with help from the police. Seems Brad has been particularly active on that front. Brad's not going to be happy when he finds out the Chief's been playing him like a fiddle. The report also says that Holiday's been making a nuisance of himself. Looks like the inspector's been repeatedly objecting to Butler's methods. These are forms filled out by the victims of Pokemon-related incidents. They contain descriptions by the victims of the damages incurred. Let's see, descriptions of Pokemon stealing things, Pokemon causing property damage. Wait, I don't see a damage report about the incident that occurred at the flower shop. I thought Inteleon destroyed the flowers there. I'm not seeing any reports about stolen food either, even though Morpeko was detained for stealing food. So they're detaining Pokemon over incidents that don't even have damage reports? I wish I could show all of these to Tim. Pretty sure taking them is out of the question though. I'll just have to settle with taking the most important looking pages. Let me just tear those out. Guess I can hide these in my hat for now. Ah, so that's how he's doing it. Because I was wondering, like, where did he hide that photo that he showed Tim? Oof. Hat feels a little snug now. Well, now that I've got those documents, I'll just close the safe so it looks like nobody was here. Why'd you stuff your hat full of papers? Are they super special or something? Yeah, ditto. And thanks to these, you'll be able to see Granny again.
Oh, really? That makes me so happy, thank you.
Yep, just wait here a little longer. I'll just take these papers back to my room and... Huh? Is someone there? Oh no.
Oh no, someone's coming. Let's hide there.
Uh-oh. This is gonna be a quick time.
Please, come in.
Gotta be. It's Murloc.
Thanks to your information, the jewel is now in my possession. As for the matter of that woman and Pikachu...
That Pikachu's being transferred tomorrow. Detective hat and all.
I see.
Oh no!
I won't tolerate any mistakes. If you'd like more money, deal with that woman for me too.
Leave it to me, sir.
Now that...
Wait, hold on. Okay, good. We're back. My OBS was turning red. I'm like, wait, I'm in a cutscene. I can't just pause, but I can. But it's fine.
I'd like to see how things are progressing with the control.
It's fine. We're back to green.
Yes, sir.
They wouldn't have made it all mysterious, but they showed the guy's hair.
The guy Butler met with. Who could he be? Plus, he said I'm getting transferred tomorrow. Sounds like we better hurry. This is bad.
I've got to tell Tim about what we just heard. Better go prep for our next visit. Tim visits Pikachu. And this is probably going to be where we blow the whole case open. A bolt of brilliance and all that.
I'm glad they're letting us visit even though it's late. Yeah, we could have come tomorrow if we returned away, but it was nice they let us in.
Well, I'm glad you came tonight. There have been some interesting developments.
Oh? What did you find out?
Come a little closer, Tim, and I'll tell you about it.
Hey.
So what are these interesting developments you mentioned?
Apparently, they're planning to transfer me to some other location tomorrow.
They're relocating you? Where and what for?
I don't know, but something tells me it's not an all-inclusive beach resort. Once I'm there, I doubt we'll be able to visit each other like we have been.
Seriously? Then what can we do?
Calm down, Tim. Our window of opportunity hasn't closed just yet. But first I gotta ask, did you learn anything about Brad?
Yeah, Brad's not our culprit. He's been independently investigating these incidents just like we are.
Okay, in that case, we might be able to get him on our side, don't you think? With Brad's help, we'll be able to waltz on out of here tomorrow morning. But that would put Brad in the position of working against the police. Do you really think he'd agree on that? Agree to that?
If you want him to, you'll have to explain what's really going on. And you'll have to do it clearly, with no room for doubt. Tell him who's behind all this and how they did it. And that's going to be the clincher of the case.
Well, to be honest, I still haven't figured it all out. I don't think we have enough information yet.
If it's info you need, I've got you covered. I found some definitive proof in the police station. Let's look over the evidence and get deducing.
Wait, Pikachu, are you sure it's a good idea to show it out in the open? The officer will see.
Rachel! Officer, quick, there's a Pokemon loose in this room.
What? I don't see any Pokemon.
Over here in the corner, look closely.
Huh? Let me see. Wow, Rachel's really on it. She distracted the officer for us.
Now's our chance, Pikachu.
Okay, here are some papers I found in the safe in Butler's office.
Thanks. Looks like an instruction manual for the devices and various incident reports, along with...
There are 4 sets of documents in total. Read them closely and make your own deductions.
Manual for the cube-shaped devices. Orders from Unitas. Damage reports. Chief Butler's report.
Let's think.
How are the Pokemon being controlled? Well, we got a lot of information from people in the city, and we have the evidence you found in the Chief's office. We should try deducing the method the culprit used to give orders to Ditto. They use a controller. What is this? While pretending to be the victim?
According to the instruction manual, the devices can be operated remotely using a controller.
I thought the culprit needed to be at the scene of the crime to give orders. But if they used a controller to give orders from afar, they could have avoided being seen by witnesses.
Alright, so now we know how the culprit did it.
They gave orders using a controller. And the real culprit, someone who could have been involved in every single incident and also given orders to Pokemon.
Yep, that's our culprit.
Let's think about who the real culprit might be. Inspector Holliday is the real culprit. He was opposed to Chief Butler's methods, so he deliberately caused scandals in the hope of taking down the PPP. Brad is the real culprit behind everything. His high crime clearance rate can be explained if he's the one committing crimes and then solving them. The real culprit is Chief Butler. He was ordered by an organization called Unitas to capture and transfer Pokemon. Obviously.
Okay.
Chief Butler was ordered to capture and transfer Pokemon, and he was getting paid for it too.
And we found those orders in his office.
Yep, which means the real culprit is
the head of the Pokemon Protection Bureau, Chief Butler.
So like, that was kind of obvious right from the get-go, but the thing I like about mystery games, right? Even if the culprit is obvious, it's still fun figuring out how to get to that ending, right? Even if you know the answer to a puzzle, figuring out how to solve it is still fun.
Yeah.
Now we know the truth behind all these incidents.
Chief Butler was using some kind of controller to make a Pokemon commit crimes.
Exactly. You need to tell Brad, ASAP. He'll probably be shocked, but if you show him proof, I think he'll understand. Then we can stop Butler from carrying out his plans.
Yeah, I'll do that, but still. You're supposed to be transferred somewhere tomorrow, right? Are you sure we'll make it in time?
Good point. I need to figure out a way to escape.
Tight security. Along with these cubes.
What are you thinking, Pikachu?
Uh-huh. I hadn't thought of that. A bolt of brilliance!
Huh?
A bolt of
If I
brilliance.
get the other Pokemon to help, we can all escape! And I can finally get out of here!
I'll need help from the others if I'm gonna bust out of this place. You said Luxray and the others were helping you, right? Are you sure you'll be okay? Of course, just you watch. I'm gonna bust out of this place and take all the others with me. Wish me luck, Tim. Speaking of Luxray, we found that Mightyena. Really? How was he? He was injured. We helped him get back on his feet, but after that he was detained by the police. Well, I'll tell Luxray. Thanks, Tim. We're breaking out of here tomorrow. And like I said, I'm bringing the others with me. Mightyena included. What do you need me to do? Cause a distraction for the police outside the station. Got it. You want to make sure there are as few officers in the station as possible, yeah? Exactly. That'll be our chance to escape. Oh, and don't forget about Brad. Oh. And then Rachel just shows up again. Okay. Do you think Brad will believe us? You've got all the information to prove it, right? I'm sure that'll convince him. Yeah, I guess all we can do is try. I bet Brad's still out investigating one of the crime scenes. Let's go look for him. Brad sure is dedicated. Let's look for Brad. Let's look for Brad. Is he here? He is here.
Hey!
Are you ready to try and convince Brad? Let's do it, baby. Hi there, Brad. I see you're in the plaza again. As are you, great detective. What is it? What of it? What happened with that Mightyena earlier? It's being taken into custody at the police station, just like your Pikachu was. I see. Is that all you want to ask? No, there's something else. Something important. Brad, what's your opinion of the Bureau? My opinion? Do you think the police and the PPB trust each other and work together effectively? Why? Did you hear something from Inspector Holliday? In any case, it's hard to say. I'm finding a lot of strange discrepancies with these recent Pokemon incidents. Too many to chalk up to a coincidence, wouldn't you say? As if someone in the police or the PPB wants it that way. Do you have any evidence of that? Without proof, all I can do is carry on with my job. And that's exactly why you keep returning to the crime scenes, isn't it? To find proof of who's behind all this. Are we done here? Sorry, but I'm very busy. Let's go, Manetric. Manek. The PPB is detaining innocent Pokemon. Excuse me? And that's not all. They're also planning to transfer these Pokemon being detained at the police station somewhere else. What? That's a very serious accusation you're making, especially if it were true. I have proof. Then show me. Let's see this proof of yours. Okay, so this isn't the clincher just yet.
Alright.
I was thinking this was going to be the thing where, like, where it's like an actual cutscene and you just choose things during Tim's explanation. Take a look at this. It's from Chief Butler's office. And why would you have something from his office? Are you suggesting I stole it? You don't have any evidence of that. Just hand it over. This can't be. They're controlling Pokemon? Of course. So that's why the Pokemon become so obedient when those devices are attached. And it all adds up. This list accounts for each and every incident to date. So they were all orchestrated by Butler, or rather by this Unitas organization pulling his strings. So Brad, do you believe me now? Pikachu and the other Pokemon are innocent. I never thought something like this could happen. Please, Brad, we need your help. We just want to help Pikachu and the other Pokemon of the city. Any other day I would have thought this was some kind of joke, but the evidence you have is irrefutable. Well then, I'll confront Chief Butler about this. Really? Thank you, Brad. There's no need for you to thank me. I'm just doing my job. The duty of the police is to uphold the peace and protect the residents of this city. That will always take priority over orders from the PPB. I'll get started first thing tomorrow.
That might be too late. They plan to transfer Pikachu away tomorrow.
Too late? But any sooner would be a breach of official procedure.
Listen, Brad, I'm pretty sure Pikachu's gonna make a break for it at the station tomorrow morning.
What do you mean?
We have a plan. If we can pull it off, Pikachu and all the innocent Pokemon will escape. But in order for our plan to work, we need your help.
Not giving up without a fight, huh? Well, what is it you want me to do?
Thank you. Here's what I had in mind. Jailbreak time! Jailbreak, jailbreak. Loading screen. Shot of the police station. Another loading screen.
Morning already. Time to get this show on the road. If we don't do something, I'm gonna be transferred away somewhere today. And all these innocent Pokemon are gonna be stuck here with no way out. Right then, let's do this. I'm gonna get us all out.
It's not coming off.
Bruh. This was your master plan?
It's just too. Oh, I got it off. All right, I did it. I'm free.
It's time for exercise. Please proceed to the roof single file.
Great.
Strange. That announcement's usually the last thing I hear before losing my memories. But now I'm the only one here that seems unaffected. Must be because I got rid of that cube. For now, I guess I'll go up to the roof with the others and let Luxray and folks know about the escape.
Hey.
Hey everyone, you want to get out of this police station, don't you? None of you actually did those bad things they arrested you for. We were set up by a few rotten humans, and I've got proof.
Wow, nice job, Pikachu. Yippee, now that we have proof, we can get out of here.
Well, proof is good and all, but what we really need to catch the culprit is time. And time's something I don't have. Right now, I gotta bust out of here. Then, I'll catch the culprit.
Bust out? But how? I mean, with how tall Pangoro is, Pangoro could very easily just pick Pikachu up and drop him outside, but I guess then Pikachu might go splat on the pavement, so maybe that's actually not a good idea. There's no way you can do it alone.
You're right, and that's why I need everyone's help.
I assume you have a plan? I'll help, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. How terribly exciting. I'll help as well, of course.
Thanks. I knew I could count on you all. But first, we're gonna need to get those devices off of you. Otherwise, you might not be able to move around as you please. So, off with those pesky cubes.
Oh, this thing? I'll get yours, Luxray. So that machine is what robbed us of our bodily autonomy. What should I do after I get this thing off?
I need you to distract the police officers, Pangoro. It won't be easy. Do you think you can handle it?
Just leave it to me.
Thanks, Pangoro.
Are you planning to ride on my back again?
Yeah, I'm counting on those eyes of yours. Oh, and Luxray, about your friend Mightyena.
Did you find something out?
Apparently he was detained and brought to the station yesterday. He must be in one of the other rooms.
Well then, I guess we'll need to go to the basement.
Right. Once we've freed everyone, we can make a break for the exit. Oh, but you should all know that part of this roof is monitored by a security camera. Just to cover our bases, we should pretend that we're still being controlled when we walk past that area.
I got that thing off you, Luxray. And I got Pangoro's too. Well done, Sableye. Thanks, Impotent. There's no way I could have reached that myself. I'll get the machines off of everyone else. Yeah. Impressive. You got those off in no time at all. What about the other dudes? Like Inteleon and Greedent and Morpeko? Are they not involved? Okay, looks like we're all ready. Let's all get out of here together. But screw the other Pokemon. They're not involved yet. Do do do.
Ready?
Good to go. Me too.
Okay. Let's do this.
I hate how that's just a short jingle. I want like a full version of that song. The exit's on the first floor, correct? Yeah, but first we gotta go to the basement to let all the other Pokemon know about the escape. Got it. Let's take care not to be seen as we go. I'll distract the police. You can use that time to escape. I'll catch up with you later. Sorry to ask that of you, but thanks, Pangoro. I wanna has Pangoro figured out where he recognizes us from yet? I'll stay and cover you. If any officers think they're getting past me, they've got another thing coming. Thanks, I owe you one, Pangoro.
Say.
Did you see how fast Pangoro got all those machines off of everyone? It was mind-blowing. No kidding, that was some serious speed. And now we're all busting out, right? Even the Pokemon in the other rooms? You'd better believe it. We're headed for the detainment rooms on floor B1 now. We're heading to the basement. How exciting, our freedom is just around the corner. Yeah, but now's not the time to let your guard down. Let's go. Hey Pikachu, I went and scouted out floor B1. Everyone's inside the detainment rooms, and there's a newbie Mightyena that's hurt. Mightyena, so his wounds haven't fully healed yet. I see. Why don't we swing by and check on him? I know you're worried. Let's speak to them first. By the way, how are you going to let the other Pokemon out of their rooms? That's easy. We already know how to unlock the doors.
Say.
Come on, down to the basement already. Looks like there are only officers in the guard room. Better take this opportunity to unlock the doors. Let me see. 2168. 11037. Funny joke. Also, I completely mixed up what Ace Attorney case I was trying to make a joke about last time. I was like, yes, am I gonna make a DL6 joke? DL6 never had the upside down numbers trick. It was SL9. I'm stupid. I'm a fake Ace Attorney there. The detainment rooms are unlocked now, right? Yeah, let's go round up everyone for our escape. Oh, there's Mightyena. Hey everyone, I know this is sudden, but now's our chance to escape. Everyone needs to go upstairs and head for the exit. Really? Oh, hooray. Aw, thanks for coming to let us know, Pikachu. I'm not gonna take Pikachu's word for it. He's probably trying to trap me again. It's the truth, Dedenne. You gotta believe me. Are you okay, Mightyena? Luxray, it's your fault I was injured and then captured by the police. No, you misunderstand. Our fight was a setup. It was orchestrated by some villainous humans. You're blaming humans? This Luxray here isn't the one who fought with you, Mightyena. It was a Ditto. It was forced to use Transform to pose as Luxray. You don't expect me to believe that ridiculous
Believe what you want, but now is your chance to escape. Please come with us. Fine, but I can't walk too quickly. My leg hurts. You go on ahead. I'll catch up afterward. If this is the lie, you're gonna pay for it, believe me. We'll take care of Mighty Anna. You go on ahead. Thanks. Yes, thanks. And Mighty Anna, I better see you out there. Hey, Italian. Morpeko, I know this is sudden, but now's our chance to escape. Head to the exit, both of you. I appreciate the help. I'm glad we can finally leave this place. Lipard and Pangoro are distracting the police officers, but they can't keep it up for long, so we need you to hurry. That's a bit of a problem. Morpeko's too hungry right now and not in the best mood. I'm so hungry! I'll watch over Morpeko until he calms down. You two go on ahead. Okay. Sorry about that, Intellion. We'll head out now. Make sure you follow us later.
Okay.
Now that we've talked to everyone, let's get going. Go, 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 go. My partner's waiting in the first floor lobby. Think we can make it that far? Of course. You think I've come this far just to fail? Leave this to me. I knew I could depend on you. Alright, Luxray, let's go. And this is gonna be the quick time event.
Hey.
No, apparently not. All that's left to do is get to the lobby. We can't go this way. There's a human at the end of the hall. We'll have to go another way. Then let's go through the reference room. It should connect up to another hallway. Understood? Okay. Go, go, go. Okay, where do we go from here? Why is the vending machine open? We can't take that hallway. The police are right there. Isn't there somewhere we can go? The room in the back. There are humans in there too, but there are also many places to hide. Then I guess that's our only choice. Alright, here we go. Just a little bit farther and we're home free. Hold on, Tim, I'm coming. Just stand there and look at the door. Important police business. Standing here and looking at things. Oh, this is the room. Yeah, this is the room that Pikachu was. Dang it. Okay, so he does walk away a bit. Okay, go, go, go. Let me through.
Great.
Okay, we're almost out of here. There's still humans out there. Oh, it's Butler and Brad. What's taking the car so long, Lieutenant McMaster? I asked you to call one here for me. My apologies, it seems to be running late. You know how valuable my time is. I thought you were better than this. We'll be transferring Pikachu as soon as that car gets here. Make sure to pass those orders to your office. That won't be happening, Chief Butler. Oh, dramatic burst through the door, except it's actually just fading to black because we don't want to animate that. Huh? What are you doing here, young detective? Pikachu is innocent. He didn't damage that Slowpoke statue. And now we'll thank you to set Pikachu free. Are you too serious? Do you really think any good can come from resisting me, the chief of the Pokemon? Apologies. The chief of the Pokemon Protection Bureau.
There's no point in threatening us. We won't back down.
That was not Tim's voice. Is that so? In that case, I'll have you forcibly removed. Lieutenant McMaster, as you can see, these two are interfering with a public servant in the execution of their duties. Arrest them! Are you listening to me, Lieutenant? Why don't we hear what they have to say, Chief Butler? What did you say? Hey, Tim! Ray!
Hey, Tim. Sorry I kept you waiting.
Pikachu!
You're okay.
Impossible. Why are Pikachu and Luxray here? Detain them already, Brad!
Pikachu's coming home with me. Because the real culprit behind all this is you, Chief Butler.
I'm the culprit? Ha! What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Your partner is the one who destroyed the Slowpoke statue.
Alright, here's the clincher.
You can't talk your way out of this.
Yeah, I
You're
can.
just playing innocent. Tim, be sure to start off strong.
Pikachu is... Is Pikachu the culprit? Pikachu was at the Hi-Hat Cafe.
That night, Pikachu was at the Hi-Hat Cafe. A witness saw him there, drinking coffee.
I couldn't care less about that. I have irrefutable proof of his guilt. The police have the surveillance camera footage. Are you suggesting it's some other Pokemon in that footage? It clearly shows your Pikachu committing the crime.
Tim just sort of standing there smiling at him. It's a Ditto.
It's a transformed Ditto.
A transformed Ditto?
A Ditto recently went missing. And according to its partner, it's not great at transforming and can only imitate what it's able to see. Now look at this.
What am I looking at exactly?
There are no stripes on its back, which means that Pikachu is not my partner.
You actually think me and that
See, the
Ditto are
delivery.
working together?
The delivery on
Didn't you
that could have
just
been way
say
better.
That Ditto has a partner of its own? If I gave it orders, it wouldn't have listened to me.
He used the device.
The Pokemon in your custody had devices attached to their backs.
We put those on in order to manage them. What's wrong with that?
Those devices can be used to completely control Pokemon.
What are you? That's nonsense.
Now that you mention it, when the devices were glowing, the Pokemon did whatever they were told.
Don't tell me you believe this. Evolva, do you hear yourself right now? A device that controls Pokemon? Nonsense. As if something like that could even exist. And even if it did, you have no evidence that I used it.
What proves that Butler used the cubes? Cubes glowing when the crime was committed. No, okay.
Hey, come on.
Dang it.
That's not gonna prove that Butler was the one
Ah,
who
true,
used the
true,
device.
true. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. It was the manual was in his office.
But I do have evidence. Take a look.
My first mistake in silly baby game.
How do you have this? Brad, was it you? Huh?
Stop trying to deflect. These documents were found in your office. Which means you were in fact using this device.
Documents? Ha! You're mistaken, that's all. I'm the chief of the PPB. I would never do such a thing.
Heh PP.
I don't even have a motive.
Ah, the classic I don't have a motive defense.
I've discovered your motive. Look at this. Unitas provided you with the devices, and you provided them with detained Pokemon in exchange for large sums of money. You're not detaining Pokemon here. You're kidnapping them.
There we
Chief
go.
Butler, did I miss anything?
Where was this before? Finally a little bit of energy in Tim's voice.
By this kid. You never stood a chance against us, Butler.
Wonderful work, Tim.
Slam dunk.
Pikachu, you were amazing too.
I owe you two big time.
Anyway, now you can finally get out of here.
Yeah, and I could really go for some coffee after this.
That was great detective work, Tim. On behalf of the Rhyme City Police, you have our sincerest gratitude.
Lieutenant.
All those Pokemon were innocent. Naturally, we'll be canceling that transfer for Pikachu, and the other Pokemon will be set free as well. Ah, and I covered my tracks so carefully too. No, I mean, you've got it all wrong. This was never my plan from the start. Amazing. I intend to work hard to further the cause of coexistence between Pokemon, humans and Pokemon. If those jerks hadn't come around and tempted me with all that cash. Chief Butler, I believe you still have the controller in your possession. Oh, you know about that too?
Now, Chief Butler, please hand over the controller.
I guess he knows better than to resist in a station full of police officers.
It's broken!
There goes our proof. Well, that's just great.
Oh?
Well, Chief, no, Butler. I've got a lot of questions for you. Now, come with me.
Blinded by cash, he lost sight of the path of justice. Yeah.
Well, I'm finally free. Thanks for all the help, Tim. Me? I couldn't have done this without you. I'm so happy for you, Pikachu. Lux. Oh, sorry, Luxray. This human is my partner, Tim. Lux. What's Luxray saying? He says thank you for checking up on Mighty Anna. Got it. Oh, that reminds me. Can you tell Luxray to please thank Indeedee for treating Mighty Anna's wounds? Yeah. Sure. Anyway, Tim, about Jessica. That's right. She's being targeted by that Unitas organization. Hey, Rachel, can I ask you about Jessica? I just can't believe that anyone would want to target her. Jessica knows both your family and Murloc, doesn't she? I didn't realize Murloc worked... Yeah, she worked at the research facility with my mother. I didn't realize Murloc worked with them too. Jessica really respected my mother. She often came to visit at our house. That's how we became friends. So, like, I will say, obviously Murlock's doing some shady shit. However, I'm guessing Murlock is potentially just another case of, like, Butler, where he's doing shady shit, but he's doing it for someone else. And the main reason I'm saying that is because it's way too obvious that he's the mastermind, right? Way too obvious. The original Detective Pikachu, the real mastermind behind it all was someone who was introduced right at the start, but it wasn't until right at the end that they slipped and revealed that they were actually doing shady shit. Murlock is way too obvious. So I'm curious to see where this all goes. That's how we became friends. Jessica said she lives in Bamboo Borough now. Yeah. Didn't she say she works at a pizza place? In that case, Unitas might show up at Bamboo Borough next. We'd better go to Bamboo Borough ourselves then. I'm going too. I'm worried about Jessica. You don't mind, do you, Tim? No, it's fine.
Huh. Like saying no would have stopped her.
Should we go right away?
I'd like to, but there are still some loose ends we've got to tie up around this case. Like giving your report to Holiday, for starters. Let's head out tomorrow morning.
Okay. Rachel, we're planning to go tomorrow morning. Okay, I'd better get ready.
Then it's settled. Tomorrow we're off to Bamboo Borough.
Later that evening at Tim's apartment. Man, this was a long case. Like, we did the first case in one stream, which was like 5 hours. We did the second case in 1 and a bit streams. Like, but like, this one was like... one full stream and one like most of last stream. Actually, I don't know how much of last stream was on this case, but it felt long. It definitely felt long. You okay, Pikachu? You sure went through a lot.
That cube thing was awful. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It was like all the colors disappeared before my eyes, and all the sounds and smells faded away too. Pretty soon even my own thoughts vanished. Before I knew it, I was under somebody else's control.
That's horrible. Who would make a thing like that?
Murlock, obviously. We've got to keep working on this. We've got to keep working this case. If we're persistent enough, we're bound to find the bad guy.
Well, one thing we know for sure. Or is the name of the group that was giving orders to Butler. Unitas.
Yeah, Butler's motive was purely financial. He's not the one pulling the strings. Seems like this Unitas organization is behind all of these cases so far.
But why would Unitas even want to kidnap Pokemon?
That's the question, all right. I sense something really dark behind all this.
As for Unitas's next goal...
Remember that photo I found in Butler's office?
The one of Jessica, right? Rachel's friend.
Between the circle on that photo and the note I found, I think we can be certain that Unitas was ordering Butler to find Jessica.
Yeah, but why would they target her?
I don't know what they want from her, but keep in mind that we're dealing with an organization that's willing to kidnap Pokemon. We'd better hurry and make sure Jessica's safe.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Tim, isn't it about dinner time?
Oh, I totally forgot.
So, you'll take care of dinner tonight?
Yeah, no problem. It won't be anything special, though.
Oh, I still need to get Sophia.
Oh. Oh, we're getting another fucking divorce flashback?
Oh, hey, Irene! You dropped your ring! Right, she can't understand me. Oh, well. This is Harry's ring.
Divorce flashback. At least it's something a little more poignant than fucking mac and cheese being the flashback trigger.
Well, it's done. Was it the right choice? I did what's best for my family. Even if it makes me the bad guy. If I told her the truth, Irene, she never agreed to a divorce. You're the only one I can confide in, Pikachu.
Pika Vega.
Feels weird hearing an actual Pikachu voice after all this.
This was his ring. When your father left, he didn't take it with him.
Are you getting a divorce?
No way! Don't worry. We're not. He may have said that's what he wanted. But when he said it, he couldn't bring himself to look me in the eye. He always does that when he's hiding something. I'm sure he got involved in some sort of incident. So he pushed us away to make sure his family stayed clear of any danger.
Yeah, probably.
Mom. Looks like Unitas has their next target. Rachel's friend, Jessica. Tomorrow, we'll go to Bamboo Burrow and make sure Jessica is safe. And if she has any information about Unitas, that'll get us closer to solving this case.
So it's Unitas and not Unitas? Okay. I'm just out here pronouncing everything wrong, I guess. Anyway, perfect timing. We finished the case. It's the next morning. Good morning, Pikachu. How'd you sleep? Like a log. Nothing quite like sleeping in your own bed. Waking up and it just feels different. Especially when you're coming from a bed at the police station. That was like sleeping on rocks. I've been worried about you after you fainted again yesterday. How are you feeling? Don't waste your worries on me. I feel great. In that case, I guess you'll be able to come along to Bamboo Burrow and look for Jessica. Yep, Butler's in custody, but that doesn't mean Jessica's safe. Agreed. We'd better check up on her ASAP to make sure she's okay. And that photo. I'd like to know more about what was going on when it was taken. We'll have to ask Jessica how she knows the people in it. Right on, Tim. Now you're thinking like a detective. I am a detective. Well, time to get moving. Let's go. Not actually, because it's 12 o'clock. That means it's time for lunch, and it's perfect timing. Perfect timing. We finished the case right as it was time to end the stream. Where's my chat scene? There it is. My brain is dead. But that was fun. I enjoyed that. It was kind of blatantly obvious that Butler was the culprit, but figuring out how he did the crime and all that, that's what made it fun. And that's why I still have fun with this game. The answers may be blatantly obvious, but getting to that blatantly obvious answer is still fun. For me, at least. But I mean, I'm the kind of person that enjoys Pokepark, so clearly I enjoy Babby Game. Anyway. My next stream is going to be next week. Why was I going to say Thursday? I'm definitely not streaming on Thursday. I might have to work Thursday, depending on how things go. But My next stream will be Saturday. Probably more Path of the Midnight Sun. Probably. Let me see who's online. There are a shitload of people online. Holy shit. Thanks for streaming, no worries, Theo. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping me company during this epic jailbreak. Who do we wanna... You know what, sure. We've raided them a bit before, but why not? They're playing Splatoon, and Splatoon's cool. Did I spell that right? I did. We're raiding Rashawn. Rashawn is currently playing Splatoon 2. Looks like the Splatfest. I haven't played Splatoon in ages. I'm probably not going to play it until the DLC comes out. But, yeah. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Otsukame. Is that... How does my outro go again? My brain is dead. Thanks for watching. Otsukame. Bye-bye. Insane.